Jeff, if you can hear me, can you give me a feed? Castlewood. 4-0.
Just by proximity, winner loses to Sioux Falls Christian big, and then Castlewood about
Canton. You mean Canton? Yeah, Canton's good.
Canton.
That's actually where my roots are. All my mom and dad both graduated from Canton.
I don't know if he understands how bad this is going to turn out. Running this thing. I've never taped a game in my life. So I'll be Max's assistant basketball coach too.
Oh, you are? Okay.
That's my real job.
Yep. Good.
This is my part-time job. That would be way better than this. That's pretty cool.
It's cool if it works.
Do you tape the games then?
We put them. These are live on YouTube. And thank you very much as we welcome you to a night of high school football in Mobridge, South Dakota tonight. Brian Oakland following the Stanley County Buffaloes, who are the homecoming opponent tonight of the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers. A beautiful night for football. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's perfect. 70 degrees, overcast conditions, and just a great night once again and a great venue for football up here in Mobridge. Buffaloes will come in with a record of 2-2 on the season, 1-2 in the SESD conference. Last week they got a non-conference win over Custer, 43-21, and they'll take on a Mobridge-Pollock team that's off to a 2-1 start this season out of Region 1 in Class 11B. Big win over Aberdeen Roncalli for the Tigers last week, 14-8. A big win for their program, and now they come into their homecoming night and on quite a high, taking on an old Big Dakota Conference rival, the Stanley County Buffaloes. Our coverage of Buffalo football with Mobridge-Pollock is brought to you on KGFX and DRGnews.com by the Stanley County Booster Club, by the First Dakota National Bank, McDonald's, and ever St. Mary's Hospital of Pierre. And our game also brought to you in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Bottom Line Welding, Fisher Rounds and Associates, Insurance and Real Estate, and Bank West. Tonight's game brought to you within the game by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the Boyd Consemius Agency of American Family Insurance, Insurance, Teton River Traders, Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wegner Auto in Pierre, reminding you to keep up to date with the scores of tonight's game when we give you that Wegner Auto scoreboard at the end of each quarter break from Wegner Auto in Pierre, the one place to go, and South Dakota's oldest family dealership. Got a good full pregame coming up for you. We'll take a look at this game a little more in depth, especially by talking with both head coaches. We'll hear from Paul Gehring of Mobridge-Pollock and, of course, Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes coming up in a bit. We'll take a look around conference standings, region standings in Class 11B, both in Region 4 where the Buffaloes call home, and also Region 1 where Mobridge-Pollock is setting pretty good as well here. 3 games into their season. Buffaloes have played 4, of course, but week 4 officially in South Dakota's high school football season. So about halfway through for many of the teams, including Stanley County, and we'll get into that second half of the season after we take a 60-second timeout and talk with the head coach, Max Foth. Keys to success are coming up as you get set for high school football. Stanley County at Mobridge-Pollock tonight, 1060 KGFX, drgnews.com, and we've got the YouTube feed up and running. See and hear this game at youtube.com. Subscribe to the KGFX channel. Back in 1 minute. You know, you had 2 road games, tough teams to start the season, 2 pretty decent teams and 2 wins at home. Now you're back on the road against a pretty good Mobridge-Pollock team that you played pretty tight with a season ago, but a really nice complete win last week. Looking back on that win over Custer, it's just a game where I saw everybody contributing. Whoever was on the field, whether they're first string, second string, everybody was making plays, and that had to be great to see.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. You know, it's nice that, you know, we're getting better with each game. We're getting better with each practice. And, you know, we had some kids really step up and make plays, and we saw just how good we could play offensively and defensively, specifically with offense when we don't put the ball on the ground or turn it over. You know, we ended up almost doubling our points from the week before just because we didn't turn the ball over and we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot.
And, I mean, that's the thing. Like we talk about, everybody's making plays, and I like what I'm seeing from the passing game in that game. I certainly like what I'm seeing, especially in relief roles, some guys who are stepping in the running game as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had to do a little bit of running back by committee here. You know, we've had some tough injuries, and, you know, which always sets a team back. But, you know, we've had kids step up that haven't played running back before that are getting reps there, and they're doing the best they can, and so far it's been pretty dang good for me. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully we can keep that trend going.
You're looking at guys like Reed Wazora coming in, making plays both sides of the ball, but the one guy in particular I was really, you know, it kind of reminded what a great player he can be. What kind of a player to you is J.D. Carter?
Man, he's a special athlete. You know, he's a good kid, you know, great student, you know, National Honor Society student. And, man, he plays well on the football field. He's definitely a leader for us. He's explosive, can score from anywhere on the field. He's got probably the best hands on the team. And checking back on our films from the previous 4 weeks, doing some stat work, he is yet to miss a tackle. So he's a sure tackler, and he just does everything for us. And, you know, we need guys like that to be our leaders and be our best players. And he's one of our hardest workers, and I can't say enough good things about him.
Gotta love those wrestlers. But you know, the speed that he showed last week is what you are going to need, in my opinion, tonight. This Mobridge-Pollock team is not big on the line, but they've got to be using their quickness and speed to get to the corners, and people are going to have to close those gaps, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. We know we got to put pressure on him, specifically with using JD. You know, he's too much of a weapon for us not to use. And some of the biggest plays, I think, tonight are going to come off of faking the ball to him, just because I know they have to key in on him and his speed so much. So we're really looking forward to hopefully making some more big offensive plays tonight and hopefully escaping here with another win.
And then how about on defense? So, I mean, I think Mobridge's speed on offense can be a big cause for concern tonight.
Absolutely, and, you know, their quarterback can sling it. You know, he runs around a little crazy back there, and then all of a sudden he'll chuck that thing 40, 50 yards downfield to an open receiver, and, you know, it's trouble. So it's something we've practiced all week, staying disciplined and making sure we're reading our keys and flying around to the football. And, you know, we know that if we don't turn the ball over and if we could force a couple on their part, you know, we should be in a good spot tonight.
I know you talked to Rod Fisher on the air earlier this week about reading keys, especially with this double wing offense that you're going to see. You know, the problems that caused the first 2 weeks against some really good ball clubs. You know, what concerns do you have there?
Yeah, the biggest thing is trusting the guy next to you. You know, everybody's got to do their 1/11th. You know, I always say it just because it's always so important. You got to be able to trust that, you know, this is my gap and that's my responsibility. I can't worry about someone else and their gap. You know, I got to trust that they're going to get the job done too. And I think if we do that, you know, we're going to put ourselves in a better spot tonight.
All right, 17-14 in a homecoming win last year. Now you're their homecoming opponent, and to me, there's nothing sweeter than spoiling somebody's homecoming night.
Yeah, we're going to give it a try. I really look forward to this game. You know, our first time coming to Mobridge, and you know, I think they're a good team, and I think we can be a good team too, and it should be a good night of football tonight.
All right, looking forward to it, Coach. Let's go have a good time. I'm back on the road. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thank you.
That's Max Foth, the head coach of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Comments and keys to success in our pregame show, which are brought to you by the Boyd Consemius Agency, American Family Insurance and Peer. Yes, the Buffaloes are back on the road for the first time in 3 weeks. They had their first 2 games on the road against Mount Vernon, Plankinton, and Winter. Both losses, 2 home wins in a row against Wagner and Custer. Now back on the road against maybe the toughest team the Buffaloes will face the rest of this regular season, at least depending on who you talk to, but that's kind of my opinion. This Mobridge-Pollock team is going to be a pretty good one. Let's hear from Boyd Consemius Agency. We're back to talk with the Tiger head coach, Paul Gehring, next as our pregame continues on KGFX.
Being a small farmer has never been tougher. Dan Webmuller is a farmer and an American Family Insurance customer. So it's good that American Family Insurance covers just what I need, because our dream is to become a century farm, a farm that's been in our family 100 years, and pass this life on to the next generation.
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Contact the Boyd Consemius Agency, Inc. in Pierre and Phillip.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Back with more keys to success. We talk with Paul Gehring, the head coach of the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers. And, Coach, you had an off week a couple of weeks ago, I think, to kind of prepare for a pretty big game last week. You go to Aberdeen-Roncalli, and you get a really big win for your program. Anytime, you know, whatever they have, anytime you beat a team like that, that is a big win, and I think it springboards you maybe into the rest of the season.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, but I told the kids that we're just going to celebrate it, have fun with it, and like I said, we're just going to move on to the next game.
And that next game with Stanley County here tonight, and it's you know, a game that maybe you went down and were a homecoming opponent to them last year. It was a really good ball game. I think you probably left some things on the field, and maybe something you're still itching to try to make amends for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to the kids, and I believe that Stanley County last year wanted it more than we did, and I seen a lot of their players playing hurt, and you know, they made a few big plays, and that was kind of the difference of the game.
I look at your roster. I know you got a lot of kids back from this year that were there last year, and I think Mobridge-Pollock has played with some young kids that have grown up on the field as well as as you've gone from year to year, and I think that's a big experience factor for you this year.
Yeah, that is. I mean, we do have a lot of young kids that are stepping up and playing, and we did bring back a good core of kids from last year, and they're being great leaders for the younger kids, and we got pretty good team chemistry right now.
Okay. One thing I noticed when I look at your roster, though, and the starters that you gave me, not very big kids compared to maybe a lot of the teams that you're going to play, including the one you'll see tonight on the line. How important does quickness and speed then become part of your game plan?
I'll take speed over size any day.
Well, we're little guys, so I will too. I'm with you on that one. But the double wing obviously gets some things going. I mean, are you able to open holes and things like that, start establishing things with the running game, though?
Yeah, I mean, we just told the kids to make sure you stick up to our blocks, and I guess we'll just take what the defense gives us.
And then I know you can throw the ball as well. You got a pretty good quarterback. My buddy Andy Shue tells me about that. And so how much of the balance in the offense do you look for night in and night out?
Well, right now, you guys are right. We haven't gotten the passing game going yet, and we hope to maybe get it going a little bit tonight.
Something about homecoming night causes a little distractions. Is that concern at all? I think they're ready to go from what I'm seeing here.
In the past, it has been a distraction, but we try to change that Monday morning in practice. I talked about it, and hopefully that won't be the case this homecoming.
All right, what are the biggest concerns that Stanley County gives you tonight?
Speed, team speed. J.D. Carter and Gabriel.
Okay. So the focus on defense to try to stop those guys, what's the responsibility of the kids out there?
Just play good team gated defense, team tackle.
Okay. Any other keys to success tonight?
Just get the running game going and play action pass.
Okay. All right, we'll see how it goes. Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, not one to expand too much, but certainly straightforward to the point. That's head coach Paul Gehring of the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers. Comments and keys to success, again, sponsored by the Boyd Conzemius Agency. American Family Insurance in Pierce. Starting lineups are coming up, and we've got more in the pregame on the way you're listening to. Stanley County Mobridge-Pollock High School football from Class 11B on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Stanley County Booster Club members are proud to be a part of Homecoming Week 2018, September 24th through the 28th. Get in the Buffalo spirit. Decorating takes place Sunday, September 23rd. Then don't miss Coronation Tuesday at 7 o'clock and the parade on Friday at 2 o'clock, followed by the Whopper feed at 5:30. And be sure to purchase your football yard lines for multiple chances to win $100. Yard lines sell for $20. Find details and follow along all school year. Just search Stanley County Booster Club on Facebook. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Ryan Oakland back in Mobridge. Looking forward to a high school football game coming up tonight. These two teams played a great ball game, 17-14. The Buffaloes beat the Tigers in Fort Pierre 1 year ago, we should say. Both teams had opportunities to do a little bit more. Coach Paul Gehring said maybe the Buffaloes wanted it a little bit more that night. Tigers had some penalties, couple of turnovers, and they're going to try to correct that a little bit tonight. But the Buffaloes coming off of a nice win over a previously unbeaten Custer team a week ago, coming in with a little bit of confidence. But again, their first game on the road since for the first 2 weeks of the season, where things did not go all that well. So we'll see if the road woes come to an end for the Buffaloes tonight. Here's what's going on in SESD conference action, where the Buffaloes call home, of course, a non-conference game for the second week in a row. They'll have a third in a row next week. But Mount Vernon-Plankinton continues to impress. They're 3-0 in conference, 4-0 overall on the season. Winter and Chamberlain now are both 1-0 in conference, both 2-1 overall on the season, having had bye weeks. And Woonsocket, Wessington, and Spring Sanborn Central 1-1 in conference, 1-2 overall. Buffaloes are coming up in fifth place in the 6-team conference. With a 1-2 mark, 2-2 overall, and Wagner has gone winless so far, 0-4, all of their games in conference. Everybody's playing non-conference football tonight. Buffalo's here in Mobridge. You've got Mount Vernon-Plankinton playing at Flandreau, a very winnable game for them. Groton area is at Chamberlain. The Cubs are taking on the Tigers. That's our first look at Chamberlain on KPLO-FM, and that game is on Dakota Radio Group's broadcast tonight as well. Winter is at Valentine, Nebraska. Their border battle renewed, and that rivalry for the Winter Warriors. Meanwhile, Woonsocket, Wessington, Spring Sanborn Central heads up to Redfield, Dolan. It's actually Dolan's homecoming, so they're playing in the little town tonight of Dolan, South Dakota, and Wagner is hosting McCook Central Montrose. That's a look in the conference. Region standings the way we have them. The Region 4 in Class 11B, headed up by both Winter and Red Cloud with their 2-1 records. Lee Deadwood is 3-1. The Buffaloes are the 4 seed right now at 2-2, but they moved ahead of Custer, who last week was in the top of the region seedings. Now they're down at 5th place out of 7 with a 3-1 mark. Crow Creek is now 1-2, got their first win last week, and Bennett County is at 1-3, pulling up the rear in Region 4 of 11B. Tonight's opponent, Mobridge-Pollock, is in Region 1 of 11B, and they're looking up at McLaughlin, who is an unbeaten 3-0. Mobridge-Pollock with that impressive win, moving to 2-1 on the season last week, ahead of Aberdeen Roncalli, whom they beat, ahead of Groton, who is also, along with Roncalli, 2-2. Sisseton is 0-3 tonight, coming into tonight, and Redfield Dolan now 0-4. With the Tigers hosting the Buffaloes, McLaughlin is hosting Pine Ridge over across the river, a little ways up northwest of here. Aberdeen Roncalli heads to Millbank. Groton area is at Chamberlain, as we mentioned. Sisseton is hosting Cheyenne Eagle Butte tonight, as the Braves take the long trip to the northeastern part of the state, and Redfield Dolan hosts Woonsocket, Wessington, Springs, Sanborn Central. They're starting the starting lineups on the field, and again, homecoming night, so they got some festivities going on in Mobridge, but as we get closer to opening kick, we'll pan the camera. Keep in mind, this game can be seen as well as heard with our video feed through YouTube.com. Go to YouTube and search for Stanley, or I should say, search for KGFX. And then you can see and hear this game through our YouTube channels. So another exciting way to see what should be a great football game between Stanley County and Mobridge-Pollock tonight. Starting lineups in our broadcast are sponsored by Teton River Traders Gun Shop. We'll give you a quick look at the Buffalo starters as we get going in this one. Stanley County headed up by Riley Hannum, the 180-pound senior quarterback. Behind him, the fullback is Brady Hofteaser, 240 and a senior. Dylan Gabriel will get some action tonight, but still nursing that bum ankle. Reed Wazorek will get the start in the backfield tonight at 165 pounds. And the junior, and again, we'll see Gabriel in a reserve role for the most part tonight. The wide receivers, and certainly the one to watch, J.D. Carter at 150 pounds, and the senior, Lathan Prince, will start at a wideout as well at 140. And the freshman, Slater Topol, starts in the anchor in the line. The center is 180-pound junior. Dylan Endress, the left guard, 260 and a sophomore. Will Spangenberg, the senior, right guard at 280. Austin Hand on the left side tackle spot, senior at 210. And Tracy Nielsen, 220-pound sophomore as well, with Isaac Cliff on the end of the line as the tight end, a 180-pound junior. On the defensive side of things, Spangenberg is the nose tackle with Nielsen as a defensive tackle as well. The defensive ends are Austin Hand and Brady Hofteaser. Jaden Face comes in as the middle linebacker, senior at 195 to join Isaac Cliff, and also Garrett Shop Anderson, a 195-pound junior, as the outside linebackers. Wazorek starts at a corner, as does Lathan Prince. Riley Hannum is the strong safety. J.D. Carter, the free safety on defense for the Stanley County Buffaloes. Starting lineups from Teton River Traders Gun Shop for Mobridge-Pollock tonight. We'll look this way. They'll start with their quarterback, Caden Halsey, a junior at 170 pounds, runs a pretty good show. Got a good backfield behind him as well. Isaac Olson is a 165-pound senior. Tucson Freeman is a running back at 160 and a senior, but they'll use the double wing and two guys that will be very much some focal points of the offense. Reese Cerny, a 145-pound junior, and Braxton Albers, a 190-pound senior. The line looks like this with Josh Norder, a 200-pound, 205 junior, as well as the guards Hudson Filler, a sophomore at 160. John Keller is a right guard at 215 pounds and a junior. The tackles are Trace Cerny on the left side, 155 and a sophomore. Cragen Norder is the right tackle. He is a 175-pound junior. And their tight end is Noah Fireheisen, a senior at 195. That's the offense for the Tigers. Defense looks something like this. On the nose is Isaac Olson. Defensive tackles are Hudson Filler and also Parker Mentz. Their one big guy on the on the line of scrimmage will be Parker Mentz, a senior at 290 pounds. The defensive ends are Noah Fireheisen and Cragen Norder. The outside linebacker coming in is Jace Chasing Hawk, a 165-pound senior. He'll join Trace Cerny and Tucson Freeman in the linebacking core. The defensive backfield has Braxton Albers and also Bryson Gehring, a 130-pound sophomore on the corners, and Reese Cerny is the free safety. Your starting lineups for the home team, the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers, head coached by Paul Gehring, assisted by T.J. Knutson, Troy Stenberg, and Jason Bauer. The Buffaloes, of course, coached by Max Foth, assisted by Ryan Warrior, Mike Bush, Austin Lepore, and Jody Giddings. Starting lineups from Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. The other starting lineup tonight is our naming of tonight's game officials. We call them the Law on the Field. They're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, and our Aberdeen crew tonight includes Darren Lorenz at the referee. In the white hat, Vern Bogue is the umpire. The linesmen are Cole Kukowski and Mike Esser, and Jordan Mensch will be the back judge. Our Law on the Field, the guys in stripes, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. Again, Darren Lorenz, Vern Bogue, Cole Kukowski, Mike Esser, Jordan Mensch. We thank them for doing what they're doing in officiating high school sports. We'll pause on the field for our national anthem. We'll take about a 2-minute timeout here in our broadcast, and we'll be back with more to continue the pregame show, the kickoff, coming up in just a little bit. You're listening to Buffalo Football on 1060 KGFX.
The key to a successful hunt begins at Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. They carry a large variety of reloading equipment, cleaning supplies, and firearms accessories. They also sell and deliver Liberty gun safes. See Teton River Traders Gun Shop for all your gunsmithing needs, including custom-built firearms. Stop in today. Teton River Traders Gun Shop, located west of Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Every day, you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Wish there was a fast and easier way to get your account balances? Sign up for text alerts and give yourself a personalized and convenient way to receive balances. You choose how often and when to receive them. It's that simple. Just another way Oahe Federal Credit Union is making everyday tasks just a little easier.
People helping people. Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Welcome back again. We're in Mobridge tonight in the west end of town, looking out past the trees. You can see the beautiful waters of Lake Oahe out here. It is cloud covered tonight. Temperatures right around 70 degrees, a little bit of a breeze from north to south. But again, a very, very nice night for football. I was sharing a little bit of a chuckle with one of the game officials as I was walking off the field. After talking to coaches, I said, hey, man, at least it's not 90 degrees out there. And he could not concur any more than he did. It's a very nice night for everybody that's going to be on the field, and hopefully a good night for both teams involved here. Of course, we're very interested in the goings-on usually here in Mobridge, as they're one of the homes of the Dakota Radio Group. Our colleague Andy Shue is across the way, and he'll be calling this game from the Mobridge-Pollock Tiger side of things. And of course, we've got two angles of this one that you can see as well as here. He's got the video feed on the KOLY-FM YouTube channel. We've got our KGFX YouTube feed up and running as well. They enact the coin toss. The Buffaloes have won the toss. They will receive, and that's what they tend to do when they get the opportunity. They'll receive the opening kick. Mobridge-Pollock will defend as the Buffaloes will go into the wind south to north to begin tonight's festivities on the field. You're listening to Stanley County Buffalo football on 1060 AM and 107.1 FM, KGFX, Pierre Fort Pierre. We are a member of the Dakota Radio Group, and again, online at drgnews.com with the video feed through our YouTube channel. I'd like to see some more people get to take a look at this game, and I think we've got a better opportunity for better visibility here in this Mobridge-Pollock field. Other games that are going on, one of the biggest games in the state is actually in Pierre. It's homecoming here in Mobridge tonight. It's homecoming in Pierre as well, as the Pierre Governors are entertaining the Huron Tigers. Suddenly, Huron has risen to the top of the 11AA rankings this week. The Governors are number 2, so you got number 1 against number 2 at Hollister Field, a game that's on River 92.7. Rod Fisher calling the action on that. We'll keep you updated on how that one goes throughout the night. Of course, we mentioned Groton area and Chamberlain. They are playing in Chamberlain, and that's on KPLO-FM. One game on the Dakota Radio Group already got started out west tonight as Harding County is entertaining Harriet-Selby area. The Ranchers have an early 8-0 lead. Here we go. Tigers with the opening kick, sponsored by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores of Pierre and Fort Pierre. And a perfectly placed kick over here on the near sideline comes to rest at the 25-yard line, just about 6 inches away from the sideline. Cade Stover was there. He wanted to see if it'd go out of bounds. It did not. He wisely picks it up, and then he is covered up immediately. So just 2 seconds into this one, and Stanley County will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Buffs in road white tonight, white on white with the purple numbers, gold trim, white helmets. Mobridge-Pollock is in home black with the orange numbers and trim, black helmets, black pants, black top to bottom. The Buffaloes from the near side going left to right as we follow the action. A quick handoff to the fullback, Brady Hofteaser from Riley Hannum. And maybe 3, maybe even 4 yards here, depending on the spot. It looks like a 3-yard pickup to the 28-yard line. And the Buffaloes just with a modest gain to start the action here tonight. 2nd down and 7. Buffaloes are certainly going to want to try to establish the running game here. Their bigger offensive line, although the Tigers are very athletic and very quick on a lot of areas of the football field. Here's Reed Wazorek around right guard, gets across the 30-yard line, then will be wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. And I'll try to keep checking some of the numbers for Mobridge-Pollock. 62, Cragen Norder was in on this stop. Another small gain here. It'll be 3rd and 4. So 3 for Hofteaser, 3 for Reed Wazorek on his first carry of the night. And the Buffaloes have it 3rd and 4. We'll see if they decide to put it in the air for the first time. They fake the handoff to J.D. Carter on that jet sweep. And it's a keeper for Riley Hannum, who's going straight up the middle. He has it to the 35. It's going to be, it looks like a yard short, or maybe a half-yard short of the first down. So a trio of 3-yard runs for the Buffaloes. And it looks like Stanley County is going to be going for it. 4th and 1, try to establish something right away here. In this one, I formation, they'll just give it to the big guy. Hofteser straight up ahead, and a very confident call by Coach Max Foth. And a confident job of execution as the Buffaloes will gain a first down up across the 35-yard line, spot it to the 38. That is the fourth 3-yard gain in a row for the Stanley County Buffaloes. You know what? That will get the job done. My Riggs High math will tell me that. So the Buffaloes have a fresh set of downs. They've done it all on the near hash mark. Hannum, in the gun. He'll turn around, hand off to Reed Wazorek. Tried to make a man miss, is not able to do so. And there's that quickness of the Tiger defense. This will be a short gain at best. That's Isaac Olson coming off the middle of the line. Give 1 yard to Wazorek to the 39-yard line, second down and 9. Earlier on that third down play, Hannum kept it himself. He faked to J.D. Carter on the jet sweep, and that's something that the Buffaloes know very well that Mobridge-Pollock going to be ready for. Paul Gehring mentioned J.D. Carter's name. We were talking with Coach Foth about what a good game J.D. had last week. He was our Bauman Lumber player of the game in the post game. Here we've got movement, and Wazorek got a quick jump in the backfield, so a false start called against the Buffaloes. And they'll be marked back 5 yards. First penalty of the night. Puts them back to the 34-yard line. It'll be second down in double digits here. Second about 14. 9:14 to go, first quarter. Buffaloes on the opening drive of the game. Inching their way along, still on their own side of the field. We have some scores rolling in from our technical director, Jeff Duncan, throughout the night. Platt Geddes leads Parkston in the first quarter, 8-0. Here's a reverse to Carter. First look at J.D., tries to cut back. Turns the corner up the field, tackled by a couple of Tigers. Looks like 52 got in there. He was the leader, Trey Cerny, leading the way. First time J.D. Carter touches the ball tonight, but he's got the biggest gain of the night for the Buffaloes. He'll get it to the 44. That's a gain of 10 yards, but still, after the 5-yard penalty, the Buffaloes still have a ways to go. Third and a long 4. As the clock runs down to 8:20, Hofteser will come to a wing on the right side. Hannum back to looking to throw for the first time, but he'll tuck and run. Tries to stiff arm, gets close to the 50-yard line, right to the down marker here on the near sideline, and from here it looks like he's got it. I'm personally set up on the Mobridge 40-yard line, so I'm looking back to the left just a little bit to see the 50-yard line. This one spotted at the 49 of the Buffaloes. Hannum needed 4. He got 5, and it's a first down. Buffaloes moved the chains for the second time on this opening drive of the game. Hannum in the gun. Got some help. Hofteser next to him. Hannum has the snap go through his hands on a hop. It's picked up by Reed Wazorek, the tailback, so a break for the Buffaloes. However, the Tigers are there to cover it up, and leading the way is Jace Chasinghawk, the linebacker, 165 and a senior, but a bit of a mistake on a high snap of the football by the Buffaloes, a 5-yard loss. And it turns into second down and 15, so the Buffaloes aren't helping themselves a whole heck of a lot here on this opening drive, even though they have picked up a couple of first downs. Wide out split both sides. Hannum quick hits one out to Carter. He steps inside, then outside, and then breaks a tackle. He's got a first down. Almost broke at the distance before Jace Chasinghawk can run him down. Chasinghawk, I believe, saved a touchdown, but there is the ability of J.D. Carter, who gets well into Mobridge-Pollock territory. Going to be spotted at the 31-yard line on the 9th play of the drive. First down Buffaloes. Pickup of 25 yards on the first pass of the game. He'll keep it on the ground once again here, first down. Quick give to Wazorek. Reed with just a yard to the 30-yard line. Wazorek starting tonight. Dylan Gabriel still bothered by that bum ankle. Max Foth said they'll give Dylan the second series tonight. And we'll see how he feels, see how much he can go after that. But anytime Dylan Gabriel steps on the field, it's going to be cause for concern for the Tigers and their coaching staff. Hannum under center, 2nd and 9. They go to Wazorek again. He cannot get to the outside as Austin Hand was beaten on the line of scrimmage. Big play defensively. The one getting all the high fives is Josh Norder, 205-pound junior. TFL, tackle for a loss. Back on the wrong side of the 30-yard line. And they'll put him at the 33, a loss of 3 for Reed Wazorek, his 5th carry of the night. But he's got negative yardage all told. 3rd and long for the Buffaloes. Passing situation here. You're going to be in 4-down territory most likely, so you don't have to get it all back. Little play action. Roll out to the near side, right side. Hannum will overshoot as he got hit just after he threw. Looking for Carter down near the 20-yard line. Bryson Gehring, the young cornerback out there. Incomplete pass, and we'll see what the Buffaloes decide to do on 4th and 12 from the 34-yard line. Field position in a game between two teams that last year played a 17-14 ball game. Field position could definitely be something that you're going to want to be having the advantage of. But trips are to the right. Hannum bobbles the snap, in trouble, tucks and runs. Now he heaves and throws, coming back to it, looking for it. Looks like Cade Stover out there at the 5-yard line. He couldn't quite get back to it. Cade made a heck of an effort. Hannum, after he was unable to handle the snap was good this time, but Riley just maybe took his eyes off of it. So the Buffaloes, who snapped the ball 13 times on this opening possession, are going to come up empty. They started at their own 25. They advanced to the Mobridge-Pollock 33, but it'll come up empty. And with 5:51 left here in the first quarter, no score. Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. But again, the Buffaloes able to move the ball. Now we'll see what the speed of the Tigers can do. Can they open holes against that big defensive line of the Buffaloes? They'll get guys in motion. Here's Trace Cerny. Trace slips through one tackle. Got away from Austin Hand. He cuts up inside the near hash mark across the 35 to about the 38. And you talk about something out of nothing. Cerny is one of those guys, just like J.D. Carter, who can do that almost as well as Carter. Maybe even better. Not to sell him short at all. And if I said Trace, this is Reese. That was Reese Cerny. Ball's in the middle of the field. Caden Halsey, the quarterback, backs in the I formation. Man in motion is Cerny again. Now they'll keep it on the ground. Tailback is Tucson Freeman, and the Buffaloes will stack him up. Forward progress of a yard. Maybe it looks like they'll give him 2 right up to the 40-yard line. Two for Freeman. It'll be 3rd down and 4. A long 3, maybe a shorter 4. 4:46 to go. Had a lot of points in the Buffalo game last week. Mobridge-Pollock won a 14-8 grudge match, so to speak, against Aberdeen Roncalli. A lot of defense in that game. Cerny's in motion. Give us to the fullback. Straight ahead. Close to a 1st down, but at least a yard short. Up ahead of the 40-yard line. Isaac Olson will gain to the 42. And now we'll see if the Tigers are confident enough to try to pick up a couple of yards on 4th down. Buffaloes went for it, 4th down on about their own 35-yard line, but it was 4th and 1. This is more like 4th and 2. Play action. Halsey slips in the backfield, and he will be brought down. Probably a design run by the quarterback all the way, so we'll call it a run play, but Brady Hofteaser coming off that left defensive end. A tackle for a loss, a stoppage on downs for the Buffalo defense, and a loss of 3 for Mobridge-Pollock. Buffaloes will take over 1st and 10 in Tiger territory at the 39-yard line. So the Buffaloes take the advantage in that field position, which we were just talking about a little bit ago. And we'll see if they can do good things on a short field. Play is down right in front of us here. You got Hannum rather, with Hofteser next to him in the pistol. The handoff is to the deep man, Reed Wazorek. Keeps his feet churning for a couple of yards. And it looked like Reed had a momentary slip as well. You saw Halsey slip in the backfield on that fourth down play that kind of negated their opportunity to get a fourth down conversion. Yard and a half just outside the 37-yard line. We'll give Reed 2 on that. It'll be 2nd and 8. A little bit of moisture. Yes, we've had some mist in central South Dakota. Same thing's been happening up here in Mobridge. Here comes Dylan Gabriel. Slips through one tackle. Slips another. Near side, 20 to the 15. Cuts back, loses the football, and the Tigers have it. Dylan Gabriel had a big gain, and then all of a sudden I think he was trying to switch hands with the football so he could cut back and maybe run with the ball in his left hand. Maybe one of the Tiger defenders got a paw in there. Big gain for Dylan Gabriel. That's the good news, but the bad news is the Buffaloes will lose the football after a 27-yard carry on Dylan Gabriel's first of the night. The other bit of good news, I'll throw this in there, however, is that Dylan looked very good on that first carry of the night, not really showing the effects of the bad ankle. But the Buffaloes, who have had difficulty hanging on to the football, not last week, but in weeks past, lose their first turnover here tonight. So the Tigers have it 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line, and Tucson Freeman gets the first down carry. Good gain up ahead of the 15, taken down at about the 18. A gain of 8 on first down. Cade Stover will help finish him off. Lathan Prince out there as well. And a gain of 8 will bring up 2nd down and 2. Tigers, again, that small lineup. They've got one guy over 200 pounds on the line of scrimmage on offense, at least in the starting lineup. A lot of 160s and 170s. So they are looking to use their speed like this young man right here coming around the right side and back up the near seam. It's Reese Cerny again, who had that first play belonging to him tonight. He's got a gain up ahead of the 25 to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of a dozen and a first down for the Tigers. Their first movements of the chains on the night. Cerny 17 yards on his first 2 carries. Spotted just inside the 30-yard line. Tigers moving from right to left with the wind as north to south here in their home football field. Homecoming night. Prince coming on the run blitz. It's a fullback give. Isaac Olson will go nowhere. Tracy Nielsen is in there to make the stop, maybe throw him back for a loss. Call it a loss of, well, a yard and a half, but we'll put it at the 28-yard line. Inside the 2-minute mark, down to 1:40, counting down in the first quarter. Buffaloes went 13 plays, but lost it on downs on their opening possession. A 4 and out for Mobridge-Pollock. Buffaloes got it on a big Dylan Gabriel run down to the 10-yard line, but lose it on a fumble. And here the Tigers have it on their 4th play of the ensuing possession. Man in motion is Braxton Albers, the homecoming king here in Mobridge tonight. And they'll try to throw out to Albers out on the flat, far side. And I think he's got the grab, although he had to go down to the ground to get it. So they will have the catch and a pickup of 5. 3rd down and about 7 here for the Tigers. First throw of the night for Caden Halsey. Hauled in by the 190-pound senior, Braxton Albers. Big play for the Tigers here, 3rd and 7. Under center is Halsey. He's got backs in the I formation, wideouts both sides, but Cerny goes near to far, and then he'll turn upfield too soon. He tried to time the snap, it appeared, and I think he's going to be called for a false start. False start, Tigers, so 3rd and 7 will become 3rd and 12. It's the first penalty for Mobridge-Pollock tonight. Bit of a break for the Buffaloes, but defense will still have to execute. Ball's on the far hash mark. 38 seconds, all that we've got left here in the first quarter. Fast moving first 12 minutes of play. Glad to have you with us here tonight. Got, I think, one of the better games that we'll have on the Dakota Radio Group tonight. Could be this one right here, even though there is an 11 AA number 1 versus number 2 on River 92.7. We're going to have a timeout called by Mobridge-Pollock. They want to make sure everybody's on the same page for their 3rd and 12, trying to keep their second possession of the night alive. And we'll take a 30-second break with them. We're back. You're listening to a scoreless tie so far. Late first quarter, Buffaloes and Mobridge-Pollock on KGFX.
Welcome to Lynn's Dakota Mart. Check out their selection in the meat, produce, and deli department, as well as the rest of the store. The freshest and best quality in the area. Don't see what you need? Just ask. Their friendly staff is more than happy to help in any way possible. For any gathering, large or small, Lynn's Dakota Mart is there for you. Special orders and requests, too. Smart grocery shopping takes a little TLC. Lynn's Dakota Mart. Thrifty, local, and convenient.
Back in Mobridge, late first quarter, first charge timeout to the home team, the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers. No score as of yet. Stanley County, Mobridge-Pollock. Buffaloes with a turnover that negated some promising things, but still have been able to move the football, move the chains. And they'll try to get the ball back if they can stop the Tigers on 3rd and 12. Early score on homecoming night in Oneida. Sully Buttes has a 16-0 lead over a pretty good ball club, the Warner Monarchs. We'll see how that one turns out. Halsey's back to pass. Going to dump off a screen underneath. Tucson Freeman starts to the middle of the field. Cuts back, and he's got the first down. Ankle tackled. A nice job in the open field on the stop by Cade Stover, but a little bit too late as Tucson Freeman makes a nice running play here. Up to the 41-yard line. First down, Tigers. That'll be a gain of 13 yards. Halsey's second completion on the night. And Mobridge-Pollock will have time for one more play here in the first quarter. From inside the near hash mark, they're in the I formation. Freeman is the deep man. Here comes Albers on the move, or is this Cerny? Actually, it's 81. Reese Cerny cuts back to the middle field again, and he may have another first down into Buffalo territory. 45 to the 50 and down at the Stanley County 48-yard line. So the Tigers have a little bit of momentum going as they'll start the clock. There's only 4 seconds left, so that will close out our first quarter of play. But after that timeout, Mobridge-Pollock with a couple of double-digit yardage plays and into Buffalo territory for the first time. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, though, at the end of one quarter, Stanley County nothing, Mobridge-Pollock nothing. And Wagner Auto of Pierce, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer, is online at WagnerAuto.com, and they are the one place to go. We pause for 60 seconds, quarter number 2. Coming up next, got a good one going here in Mobridge. You're listening to Buffalo Football, KGFX, and DRGnews.com.
If your checking account earns little or no interest and charges you ATM fees galore, isn't it time for a new checking account? At Bank West, E-Plus checking customers earn a great interest rate and never pay ATM fees. Can your current checking account do that? Switching to E-Plus is easy. Visit us online at bankwest-sd.bank or work with a friendly staff at one of our convenient locations. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Bottom Line Welding Service of Fort Pierre proudly sponsors this broadcast, wishing the Stanley County Buffaloes best of luck in sports and all of your activities. Bottom Line Welding offers on and off-site welding services conveniently located at 1304 North Waldron in Fort Pierre. Contact Tim Hughes at 223-2063. That's 223-2063 for all of your welding needs. Go Buffaloes!
Welcome back to Mobridge, South Dakota. A nice little upper 60s to 70-degree cloud-covered evening. A little mist in the air, but good night for homecoming football here in Mobridge as Tucson Freeman will go on first down from the Stanley County 48-yard line. Almost got wrapped up in the backfield, but he is able to slip out, get back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Well, the down marker going to have him losing a half a yard back to the 49-yard line. So maybe that quarter break was enough. We'll see if that was enough to stop any momentum that the Tigers had picked up on their last two plays. Buffalo defense has played pretty well so far. One little miscue, a lost ball, a lost fumble on a 27-yard run by Dylan Gabriel. The only blemish to the Buffalo game so far. Quick give to the fullback, Olsen. He'll have nowhere to go. He'll get back ahead of the original, the start to this series. Gain of 2 for Isaac Olsen. And 3rd down and 9, and another big play coming, 3rd and long for Mobridge-Pollock. They converted on 3rd and 12 with a little screen pass a few plays ago. Then got another nice run to get into Buffalo territory, but still near midfield, just on this side of the Stanley County half of the field. And now we're going to have another timeout called by Mobridge-Pollock. So just like they did on their last big 3rd down conversion attempt, wanting to make sure everybody gets the right play in their mind. 3rd and 9 after a quick 30-second break with 10:35 to go first half. No score, Stanley County, Mobridge-Pollock. You're listening to Buffalo Football.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Good game going here. Another big play coming up for Mobridge-Pollock, but they take their second time out here very early in the second quarter. Welcome back. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Jeff Duncan is back in studio. The Governors have a 7-0 lead after 1 quarter of play, or at least late in the first quarter on River 92.7. Number 2 Pierre leading number 1 Huron in that 11 AA clash at Hollister Field. Coming out of the timeout, it's 3rd and 9 for Mobridge-Pollock. The Buffaloes in this case going to have to read their keys like Coach Max Foth talked about when we talk keys to success. Reese Cerny in motion, crossing pattern across the middle, might have been looking in his direction. Halsey hits him and inside the Buffalo 40-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. He got pushed back behind the line to gain, but forward progress is the right call here, and it will be another completion. And another 3rd down conversion on the 9th play of the drive for Mobridge-Pollock. This one started back at their own 10-yard line after they recovered a fumble after a nice gain from Dylan Gabriel to the Buffalo 36-yard line. First down, the 4th first down on this drive. They picked up 11. Halsey's 3 for 3. Cerny's first catch, but now Freeman wrapped up in the backfield by Brady Hofteaser. Or is that Olsen? Probably Freeman, I believe, with the deep handoff. Big loss here for Mobridge-Pollock just outside the 40-yard line. Spotted at the 41 and a loss of 5. See if the Buffaloes can take advantage of that. Little spike in their field position. Got one wide out, actually 2 wide outs to the far side, left side of the field. Ball's just inside the far hash. Here comes Cerny. They'll give it to him. Reese turns it upfield. The Buffaloes cover him up. A gain of 2, maybe 3. And they'll spot this one to the 37. We'll give him 3 on that play. Reese Cerny, like we mentioned, a lot like J.D. Carter, very similar, not just in ability, but size and stature as well, and also foot speed. The Tigers will use Reese Cerny just pretty much exactly the same way the Buffaloes have been using J.D. Carter. Another big 3rd down play, 3rd and 11 for Mobridge-Pollock. Deep drop. Here come the Buffaloes. Got a holding penalty, I think, but Halsey tucks and runs to the far side of the field. He'll get inside the 40-yard line. I think it was Austin Hand who was getting in there. He got a hand on the on the back of the shirt of the quarterback, Caden Halsey, but a penalty is going to be thrown. And I think it was because a hand was being held. So the Tiger offensive line at least keeps the defense away from their quarterback, but this 10-yard penalty, well, we'll see if they mark it back. Now, this is going to be a deep. If they take the penalty here, Halsey, by the way, let's reset, got back to about the 34-yard line of the Buffaloes, but the flag is thrown all the way back to the 42. And then you mark off 10 yards from there. The Tigers are going to be marked all the way back to their own 48-yard line. So the Buffaloes are going to take the penalty here. It could have been 4th and 8. But the Buffaloes, I think they like their chances. At 4th and 8, Tigers probably go for it from the 34-yard line. But we'll have to see what they do on 3rd and 28 from their own 48 instead. So a big penalty here. And again, we're going to be talking about field position. This is going to be the recurring theme, I think, of our broadcast, because in a scoreless tie, 8:42 left to go first half. Yes, we are in the second quarter already. Halsey's back to throw. Looks left, tucks, runs. Might have been thinking that line all the way just to try to pick up whatever yardage he could. He'll be tripped up into Buffalo territory at about the 44-yard line. Gain of 8, maybe 9. But on 3rd and 28, he still had a pretty good chunk of Walworth County to pick up yet. So we're going to see our first punt of the night. And this one is straight up in the air. And the Buffaloes just have to get out of the way. It'll bounce at the Stanley County 40-yard line. In fact, come back a couple of yards to in the Buffaloes' favor. The quarterback, Halsey, is also the punter, and that one just went straight up in the air. He was kicking against the wind. The wind isn't all that stiff, but it maybe 8 to 10 miles an hour. So as it turns out, that might have been, at best, a 1-yard punt for Mobridge-Pollock. So the Buffaloes, who had 13 plays in their opening drive run, see Mobridge-Pollock run 12 plays on their second possession of the night, but they'll come up empty after having to punt. They picked up 4 first downs, starting at their own 10-yard line. Dylan Gabriel going to try to get a reprieve here. First down gain after fumbling on his previous touch. From the 42 up across the 45, approaching midfield. They'll spot him to the 48, and a gain of about 6 for Dylan Gabriel. Obviously, for the Buffaloes, the more you can get Dylan Gabriel in the game, the better your chances of sustaining drives, moving the chains, maybe putting the ball in the end zone. 2nd and 4. Lathan Prince will come wide to the near side. J.D. Carter out across the way. Hofteaser ahead of Gabriel in the backfield in the eye. Play action. Hannum rolls out, looks back to the left, across the middle of the field, but leads Prince a little bit too far. And I think Hannum, this is speculation, but I think he threw that ball exactly where he wanted to. It just seemed like Prince, out of the corner of my eye, I thought he might have hesitated just a little bit. Ball falls incomplete, and after Hannum hooked up with J.D. Carter for 25 yards on his first pass of the night, a little swing pass. Now he's gone 0 for his last 3. Max Foth will take a timeout. With 7:37 left, he and his offensive coordinator, former Mobridge-Pollock principal and boys basketball coach Mike Bush, who is kind of back in one of his old homes here, going to talk to the Buffalo offense about what to do on 3rd and 4. We'll take a quick 30-second break. 7:37 left in the second quarter. Scoreless tie, Stanley County, Mobridge-Pollock, and we're coming right back to Buffalo football on KGFX.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
7:37 to go in the second quarter. Welcome back to Mobridge-Pollock on homecoming night. A scoreless tie, Stanley County and Mobridge. 3rd and 4 for the Buffaloes. Here comes J.D. Carter. A little bit of misdirection, and J.D. makes the move. He slips through the first line of defense and turns the corner on the near side of the 50-yard line into Tiger territory to the 45. Pickup of 7 yards. On 3rd and 4, the Buffaloes are gaining a little bit more in terms of number of options of things you can do. In fact, I actually thought they'd just come right out and try to stuff it down the Tigers' throat with Brady Hofteaser, but obviously J.D. Carter is a playmaker, and we saw that last week. We're going to continue to see that, I think, for the rest of the season on several occasions. Here's Gabriel in an inside handoff from the pistol. He's got some running room. He'll have a decent gain inside the 40 down near the 35-yard line, and now the Buffaloes starting to pick up some offensive momentum. And we'll check the spot here. It could be close, very close to a first down, but looks like about, referee Darren Lorenz says, yeah, move those chains. That's a 10-yard pickup, 45-35 for Dylan Gabriel. So the Buffs have another fresh set of downs inside of 7 minutes to go. First half, 6:51 to be exact after they stopped the clock to move the chains. Here we go again. Just inside the far hash mark, Buffs moving north to south with the wind in their favor. Play action, a nice hide there of the football. And the ball goes out of bounds. It looked from here to be a forward lateral, but the Tiger defenders, Jace Chasing Hawk in particular, was saying that's a lateral, and it went out of bounds. Well, if it did, actually now that I look or try to recall, maybe the Tigers did cover up a loose ball, but it's an incomplete pass. All points are moot other than that one. So now 1 for 5 through the air for Riley Hannum. Incomplete on his last 3. Sully Buttes has tacked on another 8. They lead Warner 24-0 on homecoming night in Oneida in the second quarter. Mount Vernon Plankinton out of the SESD leads Flandreau 8-7. They're in the second quarter. That's a closer game early on than I had expected it to be. I think ball's on the ground here, so as the Buffaloes had picked up a first down to the Tiger 35, now an incomplete pass and a fumbled snap. Hannum falls on it. It'll still be Stanley County's possession, but suddenly it's 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line. And any momentum that they had seemingly picked up might be going away. And again, I think the dampness of the night and the conditions on the field have a little bit to do with this, but this is the 3rd time that Riley Hannum has not cleanly handled a snap. The first time he's been under center that he's not handled one, but he has mishandled a couple of shotgun snaps. He's in the pistol now. Good snap from Slater Topol. Hannum, nowhere to go. Started to tuck and run, thought better of it because he was running into the scrum. Tried to back off again, and he is brought down by Chasing Hawk and Craig Norder and a few others, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what the call here will be, although it is in the vicinity of where there is usually holding on the offensive line. And that is the case here. Spot of the foul will be the 39-yard line, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But the Buffaloes are going to be faced in a 4th and long here, so we'll see if the Tigers decide to take the penalty. They'll decline it this time. We saw the Buffaloes take a big holding penalty on 3rd down on Mobridge's last possession. But again, nothing here. It's a quarterback sack for the Tigers and a loss of 4. Riley Hannum still punting in place of Brady Hofteaser with the win. Not his best effort here, but it'll get a nice Stanley County bounce. How far will it go? Inside the 10, the Buffaloes trying to cover it up, but they can't get to it in time. J.D. Carter just a yard too late. It's a touchback for Riley Hannum. And again, that ball didn't, it wasn't kicked deep, but it took a huge bounce. And the Buffaloes, I think they had an opportunity to go down there and cover that up. But they did not anticipate the forward bounce on that. So Mobridge-Pollock gets a break. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And even though both teams have had some offensive momentum at times, we remain scoreless. 0-0. Buffaloes and Tigers. Mobridge-Pollock's homecoming night. Caden Halsey will bring the troops back out from the 20-yard line. Cerny in motion, takes the handoff. Juking and jiving. Going up against Reed Wazorek here on the left corner from Wazorik's standpoint. 5, maybe a few more than that for Reese Cerny here. He's up across the 25. And they spot it to the 26. So Cerny will pick up 4 on his 5th carry of the night. 2nd down and 4 from there. For the boys in black, Isaac Olson, the fullback, will get the quick give this time. Maybe a couple. Well, now they got him to the 29, so they'll get 3 in 3rd and short coming here for Mobridge-Pollock. KMLO game moving along as they're in a good one. Harriet-Selby area tied with Harding County 16-16 at or near halftime. Olson with another one, straight up the gut. He busts through the line of scrimmage this time, has a Tiger first down. He stays on his feet, takes a couple of Buffaloes for a ride, got some help from one of his offensive linemen as well. And the assist to Hudson Filler. Good, biggest run of the night for the Tigers outside of the end arounds from Reese Cerny. Up across the 40, they'll spot him to the 41. That's a gain of a dozen for Mobridge-Pollock. So they've got a bit of a head of steam now. Still on their own side of the field, 4:15 to go. And the Tigers are going to have to take a timeout because some of the people on the offensive line weren't quite sure they knew where they needed to be. So already the 3rd charge timeout, the final one for Mobridge-Pollock with 4:10 to go. In the 2nd quarter, still scoreless between the Buffaloes and Mobridge-Pollock. Will take a 30-second break. Back with more through the 2nd quarter here. 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Tiger timeout, this time on a 1st down play with 4:10. Welcome back. 4:10 left in the 2nd quarter. 0-0. Stanley County and Mobridge-Pollock, both teams pushing each other, but neither team breaking much. Of course, the Buffaloes beat Custer at home last week. Custer is back home tonight against a tough 11A team, losing to Hot Springs big in the 2nd quarter, 27-0. Winner in their border battle at Valentine, Nebraska, trailing the Badgers 7-6. We've got flags thrown here and a false start. Nope, offside. Okay, the initial call was false start, but it looked like the Buffaloes jumped. So a little bit of a help. I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. I could understand if maybe Halsey might have went with a hard count there. But it'll be the 2nd penalty of the night. Both of the 5-yard variety called and counted against Stanley County. Still 4:10 left. Now 1st and 5 for Mobridge-Pollock. They're at their own 46, moving from left to right, south to north, into the breeze. And the confusion and the end around, the give. Decent gain, going to be close to a 1st down. It's the 1st carry of the night for number 44, Noah Fireeisen, who is the tight end. Fireeisen, a good athlete, going to pick up 4. It looks like it'll be 2nd down and short. Call it 2nd and 1. Just across the 50-yard line here into Buffalo territory. Pierre opens up a 13-7 lead on Huron and River 92-7 in the Governor homecoming night. Tigers back to the ground. Fullback give. Olson once again will have enough for the 1st down. And they'll spot it to the Buffalo 46-yard line. So pick up a 3 here. Fresh set of downs, and even though they're a little bit smaller, but pretty quick and very athletic are these offensive linemen for the Tigers. 3:14, counting down second quarter, no score as we approach halftime. Play action pass, Halsey back to throw down the middle of the field as Fireheisen, but he's underthrown just a little bit. That ball slipped out of Halsey's hands, kind of floated and wobbled a little bit. Fireheisen had a step or two on the Buffalo defense. Well, the first incomplete pass thrown by Caden Halsey tonight is a big break for the Stanley County Buffaloes. Back to the 45 we go. Second down and 10. Ball still just 5 yards into Buffalo territory. Play number 7 of this possession. They'll play action on the jet sweep to Cerny. It's a keeper for Caden Halsey instead to the short and near side of the field. And a fair gain, 4 yards, maybe 3 inside the 45 to about the 42. And it'll be third and a long 6, shorter 7 perhaps, for the Tigers. Big play here, I think, for both teams. If the Buffaloes want the ball back before halftime, they'd like as much time on the clock as humanly possible. High formation, wide out split both sides. Ball's on the near hash mark. Play action. Halsey back to throw. Out to the flat. Fireheisen goes up with a right hand and can't haul it in. I think that pass was thrown a lot quicker than Noah Fireheisen had anticipated. So it'll be 4th and 7 from the Buffalo 43-yard line. And the Tigers will bring Halsey out to punt. See if he gets a better one this time than he did last time when he kicked it straight up in the air and didn't get much out of it. J.D. Carter will retreat back to his 15-yard line. Halsey, better kick this time. It's off to his left. It will take a Buffalo bounce, though, from about the 23-yard line all the way to the far sideline, and it goes out of bounds at the 31. So Stanley County with 2:08 left to play has really plenty of time to try to get something on the board here before the end of the first half. Tigers will get the ball to start the second half. But the Buffaloes certainly have playmakers, J.D. Carter, Dylan Gabriel especially, who can pick up yards in big chunks. Lathan Prince will come out wide to the left side, Carter to the far side. Ball's on the far hash mark as Hannum will come under center. Got a wing back in Carter. They'll keep it on the ground, but Hofteaser squirts out of the pile. Up ahead of the 35, out to the 39-yard line. Good first down gain for Brady Hofteaser from the fullback spot. We'll call it 8, second down and 2. Buffaloes have 2 timeouts left to use here in the first half. Just shy of the 40. Something I've been hoping to see a little bit better as the season goes along is clock management and the 2-minute drill. We'll see if Stanley County can do what they need to do. Hofteaser again is up ahead of the 40, but I think he got 2 and he needed 2.5 to pick up a first down. So the Buffs will have 3rd and 1. But the clock continues to run, down to 1:10 now. Buffaloes huddle up, but they hurry out of that. Hannum again to Hofteaser. Has the first down at a Tiger, up near midfield, I should say, across the 45. Clock will stop to move the chains, but now it's time for the Buffaloes to maybe start trying to to pick up some yardage in bigger chunks here. 7-yard gain for Brady Hofteaser. 22 yards on 5 totes tonight, the last 3 included. Hannum looks to throw. He dumps it off. This is Gabriel. Starts right, cuts back to the left, has room to the 50. 45 to the near side, now to the 40-yard line, down the sideline and out of bounds with 38-37 seconds left. Run out of bounds by Reese Cerny, and there is exactly what we were looking to see on this possession in particular. There's a flag. I was just thinking, got to look back on that field and see if there's any flags down, and there is one at the 44-yard line of the Tigers on the farther side of the field. They've spotted the ball at the 30-yard line for what would be a 22-yard gain. Actually, a lateral play. Dylan Gabriel started out on the far side, and he cut it back, and I guess somebody may have gotten a hold out there. Illegal block in the back is what's been called. So a big mark-off here. I think in the NFL that's a 10-yard penalty, but here in high school it looks like it's a 15-yard penalty. I think they'll call that, the term that you don't hear very much anymore is clipping. So a big penalty here for the Buffaloes. It marks them back to their own 38-yard line. So they'll have to try again, and all that time has been run off. Now 25 seconds counting down. They spotted the ball and then started up the clock. Now a quarterback sack, and the Buffaloes, what was a promising drive to the end of the first half of play, turning ugly. Loss of 4 on the sack, and I think the Buffaloes are just going to lick their wounds and go into halftime with no score. Both teams have had opportunities, but both teams coming up empty so far. I think we're getting exactly the kind of ball game that we expected. And we're going to talk about it when we get to our halftime break. Halftime sponsored by CHS Midwest Cooperatives, but on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, it's 0-0. Mobridge-Pollock and Stanley County here on homecoming night for the Tigers. We're back in 2 minutes for the halftime show. You're listening to Stanley County Buffalo football on 1060 AM, 107.1 FM, KGFX, and DRGnews.com. The YouTube feed up and running, youtube.com of the Stanley County, the KGFX YouTube channel.
When it comes to protecting your diesel engines, we're with you. Less downtime and injector repairs, we're with you. Better fuel economy and power, we're with you there too. With Cenex Fuels from CHS Midwest Cooperative. And whether you're running a fleet or a farm, you'll get unbeatable performance from our unique balance of 7 top quality additives. Looking for tank monitoring so you don't have to worry about running out? Well, we're with you there too. So upgrade to Cenex Premium Diesel from CHS Midwest Cooperative today.
Stanley County Booster Club members are proud to be a part of Homecoming Week 2018, September 24th through the 28th. Get in the Buffalo spirit. Decorating takes place Sunday, September 23rd. Then don't miss Coronation Tuesday at 7 o'clock and the parade on Friday at 2 o'clock, followed by the Whopper feed at 5:30. And be sure to purchase your football yard lines for multiple chances to win $100. Yard lines sell for $20. Find details and follow along all school year. Just search Stanley County Booster Club on Facebook. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Wish there was a fast and easier way to get your account balances? Sign up for text alerts and give yourself a personalized and convenient way to receive balances. You choose how often and when to receive them. It's that simple. Just another way Oahe Federal Credit Union is making everyday tasks just a little easier.
People helping people. Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds and Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds and Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds and Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Welcome back to Mobridge. Beautiful night for football, but not a beautiful night for offense so far. If you like points on the board, this is not the place to be as we are in a scoreless tie. Again, both teams have moved the football, but both defenses have come up big when they've needed to. And, a couple of penalties here and a quarterback sack causing some issues for the Buffaloes toward the end of that first half when it seemed like they had something that could have been brewing maybe to get on the board. for the first time here. But 0-0 our score. And we welcome you to the halftime show, sponsored by CHS Midwest Cooperatives in Pierre and Fort Pierre and cities throughout Central South Dakota. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Glad to have you aboard. Buffalo football on KGFX. Your home for the Buffaloes. 1060 on the AM side, 107.1 FM. A member of the Dakota Radio Group. And again, got a pretty good picture on our, or at least what we, maybe one of the better pictures of the night in our YouTube feed. Go to youtube.com if you want to see this game as well as hear our broadcast. Subscribe to the KGFX channel, and you can see any of our Dakota Radio Group games if you subscribe to the right station channels. Anyway, in this one, the Buffaloes took the opening kick, and just a couple, 3 yards here, 3 yards there. Actually, they went three-yard pickups, and they got to a 3rd and 1 on their own 35-yard line, and a confident call. The Buffaloes thought they could push their way over the smaller Tiger offensive line. That's what they did. They got another 3 yards, so a first down pickup. It took them 4 downs to get there, but the Buffaloes moved the chains 2 more times, in fact, into Tiger territory, all the way down to the 30-yard line. Got pushed back a few yards, but they ended up turning it over on downs at the Tiger 33-yard line. That after a 13-play possession to open the game. And, in fact, the Buffaloes took over 6 minutes off that first quarter clock on that opening possession. Tigers come out. They have it on their own 33. They're faced in a 4th down situation as well, and they go for it, but Caden Halsey slipped and kind of lost his footing in the backfield and was dropped for a loss. So the Tigers go 4 and out, and the Buffaloes had a real opportunity on a short field starting from the Mobridge-Pollock 39-yard line. They get a 2-yard pickup from Reed Wazorek, and then Dylan Gabriel steps onto the field for the first time tonight. Right away, he gets a 27-yard run. However, coming to the near sideline, he tried to shift back into the middle of the field, and you see it a lot. A guy gets a great play, trying to make it a little bit better, but just somehow lost the football, and the Tigers fell on it. I didn't say it at the time, but being as close as he was to the near sideline, I did wish I could see a replay of that. I'm not so sure that his right foot might not have been out of bounds. I'm not saying it was. He might have been well inbounds, but just from the vantage point that I had, I was kind of thinking, well, maybe, just maybe, he might have been out of bounds. But the fumble gave it to the Tigers, and much like the Buffaloes, running a lot of plays on their opening possession, Mobridge-Pollock's second possession of the night was just like that. They start from their own 10-yard line. They pick up 4 first downs. They get into Buffalo territory as we got into the second quarter of play, but they got into a punt situation and had a very short punt from Caden Halsey, setting up the Buffaloes on their own 42-yard line. Good field position. Got a couple of first downs, back-to-back plays to the Tiger 35, but it just seemed like an incomplete pass here and a run stuff there and a mishandled snap of the football there, and things like that are that's what's killing the Buffalo drives in this case after a very promising start to their third possession. So they ended up punting from the Tiger 39-yard line, and a big bounce off of a Riley Hannum punt that sent it into the end
why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Stanley County Booster Club members are proud to be a part of Homecoming Week 2018, September 24th through the 28th. Get in the Buffalo spirit. Decorating takes place Sunday, September 23rd. Then don't miss Coronation Tuesday at 7 o'clock and the parade on Friday at 2 o'clock, followed by the Whopper feed at 5:30. And be sure to purchase your football yard lines for multiple chances to win $100. Yard lines sell for $20. Find details and follow along all school year. Just search Stanley County Booster Club on Facebook. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Back in Mobridge once again as both teams will get their final instructions as we get ready to go to the third quarter, the second half here. Buffalo football with Mobridge-Pollock on KGFX. Brian Oakland with you as you just heard a little bit about homecoming through the Stanley County Booster Club. They're having a Whopper feed in 2 weeks on homecoming night. Here in Mobridge on homecoming, it's our own colleagues from Dakota Radio Group North. We're hosting the brat feed that goes to the Mobridge-Pollock Booster Club. So a good job from Andy Shue and Don Conold, Jesse Conold, and the crew, who is really always nice to see them once we come up here and renew working acquaintances, but also friendly acquaintances too. And it's always a good place to come. We know we're going to be well taken care of when we come up here to Mobridge. Second half kickoff, like the opening kick of the night, will be brought to you by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. And again, it'll be the Buffaloes. Reed Wazorek to kick off to Reese Cerny, I believe, back deep for Mobridge-Pollock with a helper back at about the 10-yard line. Buffalo's first kickoff of the night. We are scoreless, and here it comes, left to right, into the wind. Wazorek with a good kick. It'll be hang up to the 15-yard line. And on the move, straight up the middle of the field, across the 35, and finally brought down was Reese Cerny. All the way to the Tiger 39. Actually, they'll spot it right at about the 40-yard line. So here we go into the second half. Tigers first and 10 at their own 40-yard line. No score. And again, we'll continue to anticipate, obviously, and some of these things kind of go without saying, but they're worth remembering. Field position here going to have to be key. And to get a good start here from Mobridge-Pollock could be to their advantage as they start with good field position. Caden Halsey's under center. Backs are in the I formation. Haven't seen that double wing as much as we thought we would, but they do go play action, and they're looking out to the near side. Cerny, as it's just through his hand. Boy, Halsey had a lot of smoke on that ball and a tight spiral. Beautifully thrown ball, but maybe thrown a little bit too hard. Cerny unable to go up and haul it in. Buffaloes did a good job in coverage there. Man coverage maybe from Cade Stover, Lathan Prince, J.D. Carter all helping each other out on that incomplete pass. So Caden Halsey, who completed his first 3 throws of the night, has missed on his last 3 here. This is the first play, of course, in the second half. Reese Cerny is in motion. Near field to far. Tucson Freeman, the tailback, is pushed back, and then Lathan Prince will run him down and throw him down back inside the 35-yard line of Mobridge-Pollock. 35 is where forward progress will be, but that will be a loss of 5 on the play. Actually, they're going to spot it while he's looking at the near side official, where he was initially hit, according to the far side official, is about the 37. So we'll give him a loss of 3 on that one. Freeman has found yards a little hard to come by here. 5 carries now, just 1 yard on the night. 3rd and 13 for Mobridge-Pollock. We've seen Halsey's ability to throw the football on this drive, even though it was an incomplete pass, but he'll send Cerny deep. Looks like an option pitch, or nope, an option keeper as they ran it to the left side. Fireheisen was out there, Freeman, Cerny. They were all options for quarterback Caden Halsey, but he had nowhere to go. He tucks it and kind of cuts his losses, actually picks up a gain of maybe a yard to the 38. But a good job by the Buffalo defense to start this second half of play. And the Tigers will have to punt. Halsey's third kick of the night is his best effort so far. J.D. Carter, nope, it's Riley Hannum out there to take the punt. Freeman will run him down, or rather that's Jace Chasing Hawk, number 5, who will throw Hannum back down inside the 25-yard line. Looks like the Buffs will get it at their own 27. 3 and out is good, but field position will have to improve here for the Buffaloes to get an advantage in this game. No score. 10-24 after the 3 and out. Left to go in the third quarter. As the Buffaloes will come to the offensive set for the first time here in the second half. Groton's got another touchdown just before halftime down in Chamberlain. Tigers lead the Cubs 14-0. First give here for Dylan Gabriel. And again, Dylan did not start. They're still trying to ease that ankle back into action, but Dylan's got a 5-yard gain up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Stanley County. On paper, the matchup in this game has the much bigger Buffaloes on the offensive line. You would think they'd be able to kind of sustain their blocks and open those holes. Here's Brady Hofteser, the fullback, straight up the gut. But again, the quickness of these Tigers has a lot to do with their success on the field, or the inability perhaps of in this case, the Buffalo offense to get some things done. 3 for Hofteser, leaves them with 3rd and 2. Can the Buffaloes get a good first down here and keep this drive alive? We'll find out with Hannum under center. Fake to to J.D. Carter. He'll give it back to Hofteser, and when the Buffaloes need 2-3 yards, you know where they're going. They're just giving it to their big 240-pound senior fullback. In this case, good enough. Hofteser will garner 4 yards to the 39, and it's a first down for the Buffaloes. Clock will start up again, 9:05, counting down here, early third quarter, but still no score. And in this sense, you kind of get the feeling that even one touchdown on that board would be such a huge momentum boost for either team here. It's a quick hitter out to the far side, flat pass. I think that's Lathan Prince. But out on the far side, tough to see. Nope, it's J.D. Carter, and the Tigers will wrap him up better than they have all night long. But J.D. still up across the 30. Nope, just across the 35. Well, where are we? Yeah, 35. Just a gain of 1. It's 2nd down and 9. Carter's second catch of the night. Here's a handoff, but a trip up in the backfield as Gabriel got spun down. Jace Chasing Hawk, middle linebacker for this Tiger squad. He finds himself in the backfield quite often. You can see why this Tiger defense is as good as they are. Loss of a yard back to the 34. First time Gabriel has been figured out. 3rd and 10 now for the Buffaloes. Under 8 minutes to go. Fun halftime in Oneida. 32-24. Sully Buttes leads Warner. Hannum will send Carter in motion. They hand it off to him on the jet sweep. Yes, they do, but the Tigers are waiting for it. Everything the Tigers saw in film this week off of that Custer game for the Buffaloes a week ago said, stop 22. And that's exactly what the Tigers have put their minds to here early in the second half. A loss back to the 31, loss of 3 on this play, and the Buffaloes are going to have to punt. They'll have to go back and try to draw something up and let the defense try to get the offense back on the field. Hannum kicking into the breeze, and that's off the left side of his foot. It will not make it to the 50-yard line. It bounces out of bounds at the Stanley County 47, so just a 16-yard punt for Riley Hannum. Riley's had some big boots the last couple of weeks, but especially when you got to punt into a 10 or 12 mile an hour wind, you'd kind of like to have Brady Hofteser doing the dirty work in that regard. But with 6:54 left in the third quarter, the Tigers have it for the first time, starting a possession on the Stanley County side of the field. It'll be at the 47-yard line. And again, the advantage in the field position goes to the Tigers here. If they can use it, pass on the near flat that's thrown behind the intended receiver on first down, Reese Cerny, who tried to spin and grab it with the right hand. Cade Stover almost had a chance to get the deflection, but unable to haul it in. It'll be 2nd and 10. Halsey threw a safe pass there. He wanted Cerny all the way, but he still threw it where only Cerny, all things considered, had an opportunity to bring it in. Braxton Albers is split wide to the near side. Halsey under center. Ball's just to the right of the middle of the field. Tucson Freeman starts left, cuts back to the right. He's up the middle of the field, and his feet keep on moving inside the 45 to the 40, down at about the 39. And a nice gain for Tucson Freeman to get him to a 3rd and short, or at least 3rd and negotiable situation. 8-yard pickup for Freeman. Timberlake up here in the north central part of the state. A good-looking team out of Region 4 9A. They lead Bison 16-0. Timberlake put a hurting on perennial 9B power Harding County last week, 58-6. And you know you've got something going when you can beat your longest and most difficult rival by a mercy rule. And kind of looking forward to seeing what Timberlake can do the rest of this season. 3rd and 2 becomes 4th and 1 on a little fullback give to the 38-yard line. Tigers are going to go for it here, obviously. 6:14 left. Clock has stopped for some reason. I'm not sure why, but at any rate, fullback give. Isaac Olson. Buffalo's got to him from behind, but Olson keeps his feet moving, and the second effort may have gotten the Tigers the first down, but the Buffalo defense seems to think they've held. So this will be interesting. The spot of the foul, or the spot of the football, is going to require a measurement from this Aberdeen officiating crew. So we've got a big moment here in the third period as the clock stops with 6:08 to go. Speaking of Timberlake, we've got them on the air, I think, in a week, maybe 2, when they go to Gettysburg to take on Potter County. That'll be a KMLO FM game. So, again, keep your eyes on the Timberlake Panthers. Stretch the chains. The Buffaloes are celebrating. And it will be Stanley County football. So on 4th and 1, Isaac Olson got a half of a yard. Very, very close. But the Tigers will turn it over on downs. Buffalo's got him. Somebody got to him in the backfield, but Olson did keep his feet churning and burning as much as he could. He just came up maybe a half yard short. So the Buffaloes come up big on defense, and it'll be up to the offense to try to get something going in this game, try to get the upper hand. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. About halfway through, quarter number 3, no score. Stanley County, Mobridge-Pollock. Two teams that played a 17-14 game in Fort Pierre a year ago. Not a lot of offense. I thought we'd see about the same kind of a game in this one, but we're not even going to come close to 31 total points in this game, I don't believe. Hannum with a quick give on first down, but that Tiger defense swarming near the line of scrimmage once again. And nothing doing. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Might have even lost a half a yard. Hannum will go under center. Hofteaser's the fullback. In the eye, Carter's in motion coming this side to join Lathan Prince. There's still somebody out far wide to the left, and a huge surge up the middle of the field. Tracy Nielsen got beat off the line. And it is Cragen Norder, a 175-pound junior, who sacks Riley Hannum for a healthy loss. Back to about the 30-yard line. Parker Mentz also, the big 290-pound D lineman, the senior, helping to blow that play up. They haven't moved the down marker. So I'm wondering if the referee is talking to the Tigers, so maybe we've got a penalty on the play that I did not see the flag for. Well, it's all right. Buffaloes were flagged for an illegal procedure, maybe an illegal formation. But the Tigers like the result of that last play, so a big loss back to about the 31. Loss of 6, it'll be third down and at least 16. Actually, a loss of 7. Let's put it at the 30. Third time Hannum has been sacked tonight. And that bigger offensive line of the Buffaloes is going to have to start coming up big, making some plays of their own. 5:15 left in the third period. Clock counting down. Buffalo's breaking their huddle. Hannum will stay under center. 2 wideouts to the left side, 1 to the near side right. It's an option pitch, and Dylan Gabriel kind of left all alone to try to make his own play, and nothing doing. 52, Trey Cerny making the stop, and Gabriel lucky to just get back to the line of scrimmage. Stanley County just doesn't have a lot going for them right now. Gabriel 6 carries, 47 yards, but Hannum's going to have to punt for the second time here in this third quarter. Got a good boot here, but it's kind of hanging up, and a fair catch is called for and achieved by Tucson Freeman. Again for the Tigers with very good field position. So the Buffaloes have punted twice and only have 1 first down in their first 2 possessions of the second half. Meanwhile, the Tigers near midfield once again. They'll start on their own 47-yard line. Mobridge's third possession of the second half. They've started in their own 40, the Buffalo 47, and now the Mobridge-Pollock 47-yard line. But we still have no score. Tigers for now just keeping the advantage in that all-important field position we keep talking about. Here is Reese Cerny. It's the jet sweep, but then the option. Cerny might have got a couple of yards, but then he lateraled back to Tucson Freeman, who picked up a few more. So a nice job and a nice play call there on first down into Buffalo territory to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 8 yards. We'll just give Freeman the whole 8 on that for easier math and easier stat taking, but good start for the Tigers. 2nd down and 2. 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Redirect, coming around with it. Noah Fireeisen as we've got a flag thrown. Coming to the near side, though. Fireeisen trying to turn the corner. He spins. Good enough for the first down inside the 40-yard line of the Buffaloes, but there's a flag back out here at the 48. And one of the Tigers may have held in order to spring the ball carrier. It's another holding penalty here. So this will count against Mobridge-Pollock. It'll take a first down gain for Noah Fireeisen away. And it'll mark Mobridge-Pollock back to their own side of the field, stopping at about the 42. Third penalty marked against the black and orange tonight. Play is happening a little more right out in front of us. You can see it and hear it with our YouTube channel. Subscribe to KGFX, the channel on YouTube. Good view tonight. Well-lit field here in Mobridge. No score, though. 3:05 left in the third quarter. 2nd and long. Cerny goes in motion. Halsey's going to keep it himself to the short and near side of the field, turning it back up the seam. And a decent gain back to the 45, but only 3 on that carry. For the quarterback, Caden Halsey. 3rd and about 12. As the Tigers trying to keep this drive alive. Neither team just is able or has been able to take advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them tonight. And especially here in this 3rd quarter, it's really been a lot of defense. The offenses haven't done too much of anything for either team so far. Halsey will go back to pass. Deep drop, looking near side. Cerny just a little bit overthrown. Prince is down there in coverage, but Cerny didn't have much of a chance to haul that one in despite his best efforts. So, 4th and a dozen. And Halsey will probably have to put a boot into one for the 4th time tonight. Holding penalty negated opportunities here on this drive for Mobridge-Pollock. Halsey back to pass, or back to kick. Good hang time on this one to the near side. You got Dylan Gabriel back there. The ball bounced up high, and Dylan wanted to go after it, but you've got 5 or 6 black shirts down there to down it. Finally downed by Jimmy Richards, a senior, 165-pound special teamer. So the Buffaloes will try again. 2:01 left in the 3rd quarter. And if you want to look at it a different way, 2:01 until the Buffaloes switch directions and have the wind going at their backs. But they'll start in their worst starting field position of the night at their own 17-yard line. Hannum will go from the pistol on 1st down. Ball from the near hash mark. Here comes Gabriel through right guard and tackle as he slips one tackle. Almost slipped another, upended finally by Tucson Freeman, but a good start here for Stanley County. 1st down gain for Dylan Gabriel as he'll cross the 30 and be stopped near the 31-yard line. 14 yards for Dylan Gabriel on his 7th carry of the night. Dylan looking pretty good, even though he didn't start tonight. Coaches wanted to see what they had from him. He had a 27-yard gain on his first carry of the night, but unfortunately ended in a fumble loss. They'll try Dylan again. Starts right, cuts back to the left, up the middle of the field. Not much on this one. They'll give him a yard, and we'll put it up to the 32. I think defensively for Mobridge-Pollock, I think the coaches really have to like what they've been able to do. Their focuses were going to be J.D. Carter and Dylan Gabriel, and they have pretty much kept both of those guys in check for most of the night. Still scoreless late 3rd quarter. Here comes Hofteaser. Brady, like a bull, right through the line of scrimmage. Across the 35, close to the 40. They'll spot him at the 39, though. And that'll be a gain of 7 to put the Buffaloes in a 3rd and 2 situation. Brady's carried 8 times tonight. Give him about 36 yards. 3rd and 2, big play here for the Buffs. Again to Hofteaser, right into the back of his center. And they'll push everybody forward. So Brady Hofteaser 2+, which is good for a 1st down across the 40 to the 42. It'll be 3. 3 yards on the gain. .30 seconds as they start to clock up again. Maybe the last play if the Buffaloes keep it on the ground here in the 3rd quarter. From the near hash, moving left to right for the time being. I formation again. J.D. Carter, actually Isaac Cliff is lined up as a fullback, and now Brady Hofteaser's the tight end, and he's got a completed pass into Tiger territory. Brought down at about the 45-yard line. A nice play on 1st down here, and again, the Buffaloes, actually for the first time in the 2nd half, but we've seen this before, picking up a little bit of momentum, but you look back, and we've got a holding, or I should say a flag on the field at the Buffalo 35. But they're going to add on. This looks like Hannum may have gotten hit. This is going to be a personal foul against the Tigers. So a huge play, as it turns out, for the Stanley County Buffaloes. Hofteaser to the 45 of Mobridge-Pollock is a gain of 13, but then tack on 15 for a personal foul, and the Buffaloes have it at the Mobridge-Pollock 30-yard line. Still 12 seconds, so we've got time for one more play here. Oh, let's catch you up with the camera there. Here comes Gabriel through the line. He gets through. Actually, it's Carter out to the far side. 10, 5, and a touchdown. No flags on this play. J.D. Carter started from the left. He cut right up the middle of the field through the line of scrimmage, bounced back out to the far side, and he just outraced everybody to the end zone. A 30-yard touchdown run for J.D. Carter, and the Buffaloes at long last are the first team to strike first in this game. 6-0 Stanley County. That's a pretty good momentum boost. An 83-yard scoring drive. Reed Wazorek for the PAT is good. And the Buffaloes, the first team to break the scoreless tie. And off the schneid they go, 7-0. We just got 5 seconds left in the quarter, so we'll stay and keep it here for the quarter break. But recapping the drive that started back on the Buffalo 17-yard line. Stanley County goes 6 plays, and again, just before that got helped by a roughing the passer penalty. I'm assuming that's what it was. But 6 plays, 83 yards. And with 5 seconds left on the clock, taking a minute and 56 off of our third quarter clock. 30-yard touchdown run for J.D. Carter. Reed Wazorek tacking on the kick, and Stanley County leads Mobridge-Pollock 7-0. Homecoming here in Mobridge, homecoming in Pierre as well, and the Governors proving who might be the best team in Class 11 AA as they lead here on 27-7. That game playing in the third quarter. They're at half in Presho, and Lyman leads Hill City 22-19. Tonight we'll see the Raiders in Phillip next week here on KGFX on Friday night. Buffs lead 7-0. Wazorek coming with a kick from left to right. Low line drive. It'll be taken on a hop at the 15. Cerny. Reese up the far seam. Nowhere to go. He crosses the 25. Doesn't quite make the 30. That'll be the final play of our third quarter. And again, the Buffaloes are on the board. Mobridge-Pollock still looking for their first score of the night. They'll have to do it in the fourth quarter if they're going to do it at all. They trail 7-0 on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, brought to you by Wagner Auto of Pierce, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer and the one place to go. 60-second break. The Tigers go on offense, trailing 7-0 when we come back to Buffalo football on KGFX.
If your checking account earns little or no interest and charges you ATM fees galore, isn't it time for a new checking account? At Bank West, E-Plus checking customers earn a great interest rate and never pay ATM fees. Can your current checking account do that? Switching to E-Plus is easy. Visit us online at bankwest-sd.bank or work with a friendly staff at one of our convenient locations. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Bottom Line Welding Service of Fort Pierre proudly sponsors this broadcast, wishing the Stanley County Buffaloes best of luck in sports and all of your activities. Bottom Line Welding offers on and off-site welding services, conveniently located at 1304 North Waldron in Fort Pierre. Contact Tim Hughes at 223-2063. That's 223-2063 for all of your welding needs. Go Buffaloes!
We go to the fourth as Stanley County, with 5 seconds left in the third, on the board, and they lead 7-0, but Mobridge-Pollock on their first play of the fourth quarter, starting from their own 29-yard line after a kickoff return. Nice little slant pattern pass from Caden Halsey, hooking up with Reese Cerny. And Cerny up across the 40-yard line to about the 44, a gain of 15. And if the Tigers are to try to get the momentum back. That's a pretty good way to get it started and a pretty good guy to put the ball in the hands of. Reese Cerny, their stud wide receiver. Tucson Freeman, the tailback, nowhere to go. Hole plugged up by Isaac Cliff, the middle linebacker. Also one of the big fellas in there for the Buffaloes. Will Spangenberg. Maybe a yard for Tucson Freeman to the 45-yard line. Well, the Buffaloes have played better and better defensively. Mobridge-Pollock is also obviously a very good defensive team, holding Aberdeen Roncalli to just 8 points, which they scored in the first half last week. They held that team scoreless in the second half over in Aberdeen. Play action. Halsey on 2nd and 9. Tucks and runs, then heaves down the far side, looking for Cerny, but he can't break free. Actually, that's Braxton Albers against Riley Hannum in coverage. Boy, Halsey has quite an arm. He's still just a junior, but he threw that ball probably 40, 45 yards in the air. But in the second half, he's just 1 out of 5, and his only completion was the play that started this drive. Now the Tigers will have it 3rd and 9. Clock stopping with 10:46 left in the fourth quarter. 7-0. Stanley County, a 6-play, 83-yard drive capped by a 30-yard J.D. Carter touchdown run. Finally, somebody breaking what was a scoreless tie. Big play for the Tigers, trying to get back into this one from the near hash. Play action, out far side, pass too tall for Albers. He went up, he just about was able to bring it down. Might have been right at the line to gain, but it's through his hands. And the Tigers may have to cut their losses on this one and punt it away. That pass had a little more wobble than most of the passes thrown by Caden Halsey tonight. Halsey is the punter as well. He's got his 5th one up in the air. Buffalo's got to be careful, as this one again takes a Stanley County bounce, but if you aren't watching that ball come down, it might just hit you right in the backside, and you may think that you're safe. Obviously, if that hits a Buffalo in that case, then Mobridge-Pollock has fair game on trying to get a recovery, but it did not happen. Stanley County will have good field position now. Out in front of us at their own 44-yard line. They lead 7-0 with 10:33 left to go in the fourth quarter. And now, if you're the Buffaloes, you've got 1 score on the board. You put another one up there and lead by 2 scores, 2 possessions, so to speak, then it's a pretty good way to get yourselves in the driver's seat. Here comes Dylan Gabriel on the sweeper on the left side. Stiff arm helps him, and he's got a first down into Tiger territory to the 45-yard line. Finally wrestled down by, I believe it was 84, Bryston Gehring, coach's kid, I believe. 43-yard line of Mobridge-Pollock. Good gain for Dylan Gabriel, who is starting to kind of take over this game as far as the momentum shifting in the Buffaloes' favor. 13 yards for Dylan Gabriel. First down, Buffaloes. Moving with the wind at their back. It's not a stiff breeze, but it is a little bit. Gabriel's trying the same play to the other side, but the Tigers will sniff this one out. Isaac Olson is in there, one of the first to get to him. Looks like a loss back to the 45 this time. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Got Dylan up to 73 yards now on 10 carries. 30-yard touchdown, though, for J.D. Carter, who helped spring the Buffaloes to a 43-21 win over Custer last week. Dylan Gabriel, weren't quite sure. We weren't quite sure how much we would see out of Dylan tonight. He will leave the backfield and come to the slot right. Now Brady Hofteaser, the single setback. The fullback straight up the gut, back inside the 45, falling forward to the 44. That's only a pickup of 1. And that'll be Brady's 10th carry of the night for a 4-yard average. Buffaloes with another road game next week. It's funny how their schedule goes. 2 on the road, 2 at home, 2 on the road, 2 at home. The last 2 at home with a bye week in between, though. They're out in Deadwood next week, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Hannum on 3rd and 10. Rolling out to the left, will tuck and run, tries to make a move, gets past Noah Fireeisen, but everybody else on the Tigers side of things catching back up to him at the 40. We'll give Riley Hannum 4 yards on this carry, but it'll be 4th down at about 7. And the Buffaloes may have an opportunity. We're going to have an official play stoppage here for some reason. And it looks, well, Hannum is back. I think the Buffaloes, well, they're doing what I was hoping they would do, and that is going to be punt the football. Hannum had a 39-yarder that was helped by a big bounce back in the second quarter in this same direction. He'll try to keep this one from reaching the goal line, but still maybe get it inside the 20. Good snap, and we've got a whistle. And a timeout called by Mobridge-Pollock. With 8 minutes even left in the fourth quarter. Homecoming night in Mobridge at 7-0 Stanley County. Let's take a quick 30-second break with a timeout on the field. Buffalo's probably still punting. When we come back, you're listening to Buffalo Football on KGFX.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Close ball game, fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go. Stanley County leading 7-0, but this is going to be one of those plays that might seem, somewhat meaningless at the end of it, but it could go a long way in deciding the ultimate outcome in this game. It's a punt coming from Riley Hannum from the 40-yard line on 4th and 7. Now, where does this one end up? It's a good kick, a high bounce, and the Buffaloes doing a much better job covering this one up. J.D. Carter got down in there. The Tigers are going to have terrible field position inside their own 10-yard line. And when we've been talking about field position being maybe the biggest factor in this defensive-minded game all night long, the Tigers are going to be in the shadow of their own goalpost here when they come out on first down. The scoreboard says the 4-yard line. So we'll go along with that. 7:53 to play, fourth quarter. Tigers have players who can certainly get them out of here and pick up some yardage in chunks, but they're going to have to be extra careful now. That Buffalo defense has been playing very well here in the second half, and before first down, we're going to have another whistle here. And the officials... What do we got? Not a flag. It might have been, or maybe, well, I have no idea. Maybe some debris. Something was picked up over on the Mobridge side of the field, but picked up by one of the officials. But it looks like we're ready to go. Tigers don't even go back to huddle. They're just ready to go on 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. Halsey under center. As we look at this one over to our left. Quick hitter, slant to Cerny out there, and it was picked off and went through the hands of Reese Cerny, and Riley Hannum, just Johnny on the spot. It came right to him, the ball through the hands of Cerny, and I believe he might have just committed the cardinal sin for receivers in trying to look upfield. Of course, I'm sure he was hearing footsteps, knew he was going to take a hit, but a big play for the Buffalo defense, and Riley Hannum with the interception. 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line, and the ball picked off on the first play from scrimmage. First turnover on by the Tigers tonight, so the Buffaloes have a golden opportunity. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 16-yard line. 7:48 on the fourth quarter clock. Here come the Buffs, but a bad snap. And that one's over the head of Hannum, and we've seen that a few times. Hannum back to cover it up, but all the way back at the 25-yard line. And a loss of, well, 9, maybe 10 yards. I think the scoreboard said the 16-yard line was the original line of scrimmage, so it looks like right now it's at the 25. We'll call it a loss of 9. But Stanley County did not need that. Still, you got 3 downs to go, though. 2nd down and long. See if they can start chipping away. They'll give it to Carter from the right wing, and he's got a lot of room. Near side, 10, 5, and another touchdown for J.D. Carter. Carter lined up on the right wing, not quite out to the slot, but he was on the wing just off of the tight end spot. We have a Buffalo down, but J.D. just took that from the handoff from quarterback Riley Hannum, and he got out on the left side of the in the near side of the field, and there was nobody wearing black that could have run him down. J.D. for his 2nd touchdown of the night, after what could have been a disastrous high shotgun snap over the head of the quarterback. A 9-yard loss, but a 25-yard touchdown run for J.D. Carter. And before the conversion and a 13-0 lead, we will check and see who's on the field. It appears to be Lathan Prince. Not sure what happened. He might have just taken a big hit, but he's trying to get up. And Sierra Moeller out there to talk to him, and certainly don't want to rush anything here. But the interception by Riley Hannum on a pass that went, a slant pass that went through the hands of Reese Cerny as Prince is getting helped up. And he will get helped off the field. He's walking on both feet, both legs, but it just looks like he got his bell rung. And again, that's all speculation. Taking his helmet off. Tell you what, if maybe Prince just threw a great block that helped spring that 25-yard touchdown run for J.D. Carter. 2 plays that cover 16 yards, but after a 9-yard loss, it's a 25-yard touchdown run. Carter's 2nd of the game. 51 seconds off the clock. Reed Wazorek is going to come in to try another PAT. A quick scoring update. Good game down on Highway 44. Parkston leading Platte Geddes in the 4th quarter, 31-28. Buffs lead here 13-0. PAT pending. Hannum will hold. Wazorek will kick. Kick is up. Kick is through and true. And the Buffaloes turn a turnover, the first of the night by the Tigers, into 7 points, and they up their lead here in the 4th quarter to 14-0. Buffalo's trying to spoil homecoming night for Mobridge-Pollock. They'll kick when we come back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Buffalo Football.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Well, a turnover, the interception by Riley Hannum sets the Buffaloes up at the 16-yard line 2 plays later after a loss, but a 25-yard touchdown run. J.D. Carter has a 30-yard score, and now he's got a 25-yard score, that on back-to-back touches for the standout wide receiver and do-everything player for the Stanley County Buffaloes, J.D. Carter. Paul Gehring and the Mobridge coaching staff and keys to success said, stop Carter. Max Foth and I, before in our pregame conversation, talked about what a special game he had a week ago. And as Reed Wazorek kicks it away, it'll be taken on a line back at the Mobridge-Pollock 10-yard line. Nice return upcoming, but running out of room to run And being stopped at the 25-yard line or so is Gavin Reinert, who is a 140-pound sophomore. So the Tigers in a must-score possession here, and obviously time is not on their side now. With 6:51 to play, they'll start at 1st and 10 at their own 25. Tigers 2-1 coming in on the season. They've had their bye week already. They've got a good one with Groton area coming up. Groton is leading Chamberlain at the end of third on KPLO, 14-8. So a good ball game there. Halsey out of the gun. Took a bit of a high snap. Nowhere to throw. Tucks and runs. Got a flag that comes in on the end of the play. This is not Caden Halsey. It is Caden Eisman, the backup quarterback. He is a sophomore at 145. And I think in this case, as good as Halsey's arm is, Eisman might be a little more adept in the passing game. But we've got a holding penalty, apparently, that is going to be marked off against the Tigers. So from the 25 back to about their own, boy, the down marker's all the way back to the 10-yard line. So 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Holding penalties are just killers, especially in high school football. Spot of the foul. And make sure everything is set for these officials. The back judge came in blowing the whistle. I'm not sure. Now he's coming over near the Mobridge-Pollock, our far side of the field. When it's the back judge, maybe he's got to, I don't know, for some reason reset the play clock or something. Holy Williamson Field has a play clock. They do not have one of those here in Mobridge. 2nd and long. Eisman still the quarterback. Back to pass. His first pass of the night is short on a crossing pattern, looking for Cerny. So it'll be 2nd down and about 25 from the Tiger 10-yard line. And the Buffaloes right now just, they can play back a little bit. They've got a 2-possession lead. Mobridge-Pollock has a long way to go just to get half of that score back. Eisman's in the shotgun. Man in motion will take it on the jet sweep, but then cut back in the middle of the field. Not quite sure who that was. Looked like he had it was not Reese Cerny. 2-2. And our first look at Zane Reinert, who is a 140-pound sophomore. So it almost appears, I'm not sure if it's that way across the board. No, I do see Cerny still out there, but Paul Gehring getting some new people in here. Sophomore ball carrier here, and sophomore backup quarterback is in there as well. 3rd and 21 from the 16-yard line. After a 6-yard gain for Zane Reinert. Another running play here from Mobridge-Pollock. Back ahead of the original line of scrimmage. And that is Eisman keeping it himself from the quarterback spot. He'll gain up maybe to the 20. And actually 4th and 9. There, the scoreboard says the 20. Yep, it's 20, 25. So I'm going to give Eisman 9 yards on that carry. But a do-or-die situation here, down by 2 scores. Eisman's going to take it. 4th and 9. They'll go for it from their own 25. Eisman rolling out to the right. Has Cerny, and he's got it at the 50-yard line. Cerny up in the air, comes down with it, takes a big hit from J.D. Carter right here in front of us at the 50-yard line. It was kind of a wobbly pass, but it's complete, and Reese Cerny did his job on the back end of that play. Big first down pickup for Mobridge-Pollock. Officially spotted at the 49-yard line, so we'll call it a gain of 24. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Under 5 minutes to go. 14-0, Stanley County leading. Ball's on the near hash mark. Eisman takes the snap. Quick throw on the slant to the far left side. And it's not Cerny. That may be Fireheisen. And it is. Nope, that's 84. That is Bryson Gehring. So his first catch of the night. It's a short one. Second down, they call it 5. And it's into Buffalo territory. Actually, we'll call it 2nd and 4 and a pickup of 6 to the Buffalo 45. Near side coming with it. And not much running room this time. And another new player into the game. This is Braden Gehring, a 115-pound sophomore. So you got Bryston and you got Braden. And in this case, Braden gets maybe 2 yards. To the Buffalo 43. Stanley County crowd who made their way here is feeling pretty good about this one. Eisman with a nice spin move. He had a pump fake to try to get the defense maybe backpedaling a little bit. Then he tucked and ran and is going to come up a yard at most. Shy of the first down, right down in front of us here. Spot it to the 42. Just a gain of 1. It looked a little more than that, but Eisman with 10 yards. Big play for the Tigers. They'll sneak it ahead, and they'll have the first down. Inside the Buffalo 40-yard line, maybe to the 38. Quarterback sneak. That's the 8th play of this drive. And Stanley County just kind of in bend but don't break mode right now. And the only way they can really break is to do something silly that would really help the Tiger cause. Under 3 minutes to go. 2-possession game, 14-0 Buffaloes. And we're going to have a whistle. This play didn't happen. I think the Buffaloes were offside. Isaac Cliff was ready to come on the blitz. Coming around the left end, and yep, it will be offside, Stanley County. So, as we talk about things that the Buffaloes don't need, that kind of would be probably qualifying to be in that realm of what we're talking about, but not the worst thing in the world as of yet. But 1st and 5, and the Tigers starting to get a little bit of momentum with a backup quarterback and a couple of second stringers in there. High snap. Eisman hauls it in, though. Throws over the middle of the field, has his man. 22 again. And that's Zane Reinert. Nice little underneath pass, but good enough for a Tiger first down. Stop the clock, move the chains. And they'll spot it at the 26-yard line, a gain of 7. So the Tigers on the move. And a whistle, and Stanley County is going to try to stop the momentum here. Not a bad timeout for Max Vogt. 2:20 to go. We're in the 4th quarter. We'll take a quick break. 14-0 Buffaloes. You're listening to Stanley County Buffalo football on 1060 AM and 107.1 FM, KGFX, Pier Fort Pier. We are a member of the Dakota Radio Group. We're online at drgnews.com, and we're on YouTube with the KGFX channel. See and hear this game, and a pretty exciting finish coming up. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Buffalo football.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Back in Mobridge as the Tigers showing some urgency, trying to get something done here as the Buffaloes have scored on 2 possessions here in the second half. We were scoreless At halftime, we were scoreless until 5 seconds left in the third. But now 14-0. Cade Eisman, quarterback, trying to keep things alive, making plays here, starting at the 25 and advancing down to about the 20 on a scramble. Nice job. Pickup of, we'll call it 6, as the play started at the 26-yard line. But again, the Tigers have to make plays quickly and in chunks. They still need a touchdown here. They have 2 timeouts left. But they need a touchdown, and then they'll have to try to recover one of those tricky onside kick kind of things here. Trips to the right. That's the short side, the near side of the field. Eisman back. Will go back to the left side. Has a man out there. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Mobridge-Pollock. Beautifully thrown pass. The timing pattern from Cade Eisman to Reese Cerny. And there's a quick strike touchdown, 20 yards for the score for Mobridge-Pollock. Their first touchdown of the night. Boy, that ball just went out there, tight spiral, perfect floater down into the hands of number 81, Reese Cerny. And the Tigers are looking like they're going to go for 2. 14-6. Eisman has the snap, quick hitter, left side, and it's caught. Right across the goal line, Cerny again, he went down low, a little diving catch. And a good possession for Mobridge-Pollock with 90 seconds to play in this one. We've got a brand new ball game. Stanley County 14, Tigers 8. In a 30-second break, Mobridge-Pollock will kick. They're going to have to try to recover something when we come back to Buffalo football on KGFX.
Stanley County Booster Club members are proud to be a part of Homecoming Week 2018, September 24th through the 28th. Get in the Buffalo spirit. Decorating takes place Sunday, September 23rd. Then don't miss Coronation Tuesday at 7 o'clock and the parade on Friday at 2 o'clock, followed by the Whopper Feed at 5:30. And be sure to purchase your football yard lines for multiple chances to win $100. Yard lines sell for $20. Find details and follow along all school year. Just search Stanley County Booster Club on Facebook. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
For Mobridge-Pollock, after the Buffaloes score to go up 14-0, they start on their own 25-yard line. A holding penalty behind the line of scrimmage marks them back to the 10, but they end up going 11 plays and what'll end up being 75 yards because it started on the 25. It takes a while. Well, let's see, 5 minutes and 21 seconds off the clock overall, but backup quarterback Caden Eisman, Reese Cerny, they hook up from 20 yards out. Now the all-important kickoff. The Buffaloes up close. They're going to have to try to cover something up. It's got to go 10 yards. That it will. No, it's a loose ball, and the Buffaloes finally fall on it back at their own 32-yard line. The Tigers almost had something work out to their dream liking there, but it's covered up by Lathan Prince. And how nice is it to see Prince out there, who had to be helped off the field not too long ago, as he is out there and the one who covers it up. So the Tigers have 2 timeouts. The Buffaloes also have 2. They should not need them, but it'll be up to the Buffs to run a couple of plays, force Mobridge-Pollock to use those timeouts, and see if Stanley County can run out the last 1 minute and 27 seconds in this ball game. We were scoreless in this game, if you're just joining us, until there were 5 seconds left in the third quarter. The Buffaloes have scored twice. The Tigers just scored for the first time, and they got a 6+2. Here's a nice give to Brady Hofteaser, who is almost a sure thing for 4 or 5 yards. In this case, 5 yards up ahead of the 35 to the 37. The PA announcer said timeout Buffaloes, and that would not be correct. It's a timeout Mobridge-Pollock. We'll take another quick timeout with them. 30 seconds, and we're back. Buffaloes have it 2nd and 5 next on KGFX.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Back in Mobridge, 2nd and 5 for the Buffaloes. Couple of quick scores. Pierre on homecoming night is having their way with Huron, 34-7. They lead those Tigers. Sully Buttes on their homecoming night leads Warner, 40-24. Here it's 14-8 Buffaloes. They'll go right back to the fullback, the 240-pound senior Brady Hofteaser from the 37. He'll reach the 40 and force Mobridge-Pollock to take their last time out now with 1:17 left on the clock. Hofteaser got 5, then he gets 3. And we'll keep it here for this timeout. And I don't think the Buffaloes are going to do anything out of the ordinary here. Like we just mentioned, for most of the night, Brady Hofteaser at 240 pounds is bigger than anybody except for, well, one player on the Mobridge defensive line. And probably just another fullback straight-ahead dive. And if Hofteaser, obviously we're going with the speculation again, but if he can pick up 3 yards and move the chains, then the Buffaloes can take a knee once, maybe twice, and they will salt away their 3rd straight victory after 2 losses on the road to open the season. Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central has defeated Redfield Doland 14-8. Redfield Doland has a loss to Mobridge-Pollock, first game of the year this year. We'll see those Blackhawks in a couple of weeks for homecoming night for the Buffaloes. One more. Hofteaser met this time, but he bounces off and he has the first down. Brady Hofteaser kept moving and moving. Somebody got to him quick. There was no surprise what the Tigers needed to do. They needed to stop number 81, and they had it, but Brady would not be denied. And the play of the game, perhaps, is the one that will seal the deal here for the Stanley County Buffaloes. 10 yards up to the 50, a first down for Hofteaser. And they'll start the clock after moving the chains with 1:05. We're counting down here, so a couple of knees need to be taken here for Stanley County. But the hard-fought game that we expected is exactly what we got. Dylan Gabriel didn't start tonight, but he's on the field to finish the game. Stanley County looking pretty good. Hannum will backpedal a little bit. Now we've got a flag thrown by the near side official. And the only thing I can think of is maybe an illegal formation. It looks like the Buffaloes didn't cover up the line on the near side. So a 5-yard penalty, which stops the clock. They say false start, but it's an illegal formation. That'll mark them back to the 44-yard line. 5th penalty of the night for the Buffs. It'll be 1st and 15. The distance doesn't matter. What matters is how many downs the Buffaloes have left to go. It's still first down. 44 seconds left now. And Hannum under center. Backpedals a couple of yards, will take a knee. It's not really a stat pattern when you back up 3 or 4 yards. You're losing 3 or 4 yards in the fantasy output, but that's another thing that doesn't matter. Now they move it back. Clock is running, but they've moved it. Well, they moved it back to the line of scrimmage, still the 44-yard line. I'm not sure why that is. Stanley County will not have to run another play, it appears. Good crowd here, Mobridge-Pollock. Obviously, with being a Dakota Radio Group town, we wish them the very best, but this one was a battle that is won by the guys from Central South Dakota. The Stanley County Buffaloes pick up their first road win of the season, and this is really the first game they've played that has come down to the wire. Tigers played a same-score game last week. They beat Aberdeen-Roncalli 14-8 over in Aberdeen. But tonight they're on the downside. Your final score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, Stanley County 14, Mobridge-Pollock 8. The Tigers will fall to 2-2 on the season. The Buffaloes win their third in a row, and they improve to 3-2. Got a lot to talk about in the postgame coming up. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll give you the recap of all the scoring, which was all in the second half. In fact, it was all in the last 12 minutes and 5 seconds of this game. But a very good and a very well-played ball game on the part of both teams. And homecoming night goes to the visitors and for the second straight year as well. Stanley County on top. Back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Buffalo Football on KGFX and drgnews.com.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Stanley County Booster Club members are proud to be a part of Homecoming Week 2018, September 24th through the 28th. Get in the Buffalo spirit. Decorating takes place Sunday, September 23rd. Then don't miss Coronation Tuesday at 7 o'clock and the parade on Friday at 2 o'clock, followed by the Whopper Feed at 5:30. And be sure to purchase your football yard lines for multiple chances to win $100. Yard lines sell for $20. Find details and follow along all school year. Just search Stanley County Booster Club on Facebook. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Wish there was a fast and easier way to get your account balances? Sign up for text alerts and give yourself a personalized and convenient way to receive balances. You choose how often and when to receive them. It's that simple. Just another way Oahe Federal Credit Union is making everyday tasks just a little easier.
People helping people. Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Well, a great ball game finished up. Stanley County breaks the ice with 5 seconds left in the third quarter. They score. They take a 7-0 lead to the fourth quarter, and after stopping Mobridge-Pollock, actually the teams traded back-to-back 3-and-outs. Well, let's make it 4-and-outs. They both got first downs anyway, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But the Buffaloes got 2 touchdowns in 3 possessions going into the fourth quarter. Mobridge-Pollock countered with their only score of the night, but Stanley County able to run the clock out with a crucial first down pickup at the end of the ball game, and they took a knee and finished this one with a 14-8 victory over 2 teams that could play 10 times, and probably these 2 teams, I think we even mentioned the exact same thing a year ago, but you could play this game 10 times, and each team would probably win 5 of the 10. I think that's just how evenly matched they are. But on paper, I think the difference still in this game is the size of the Buffaloes on the line of scrimmage compared to the Mobridge-Pollock Tigers. And the Tigers have the quickness advantage, but the Buffaloes do have J.D. Carter. J.D. came up huge again tonight, and they got Dylan Gabriel obviously feeling quite a bit better this evening. As you see, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, the Buffaloes running off after they had their last celebration, 14-8 with the victory. They're third in a row. And again, a scoreless tie. We were at the half. Stanley County, I should say Mobridge-Pollock, had the first possession of the second half, but they went 3-and-out. And this was really a game about field position. You kind of thought whichever team got the advantage in the field position, that would be the team that would have the opportunity to get on the board first. And whoever gets on the board first, obviously, the longer the game went, certainly seemed like the team that was going to score first. But both teams had the ball twice without anything happening, and Mobridge-Pollock on their third possession had to go 3 and out. Stanley County took over with their worst field position of the night at their own 17-yard line, worst starting field position with 2:01 left in the third quarter, still in a scoreless tie, but they got a 14 run from Dylan Gabriel to get them off and running. They picked up a couple of first downs along the way. They got helped by a roughing the passer penalty as well, as Riley Hannum completed a pass. That got him to the Tiger 45. The roughing the passer got him down to the Tiger 30, and the Buffaloes seemed to be in business, but we didn't expect that maybe the first scoring play of the night would be on the very next play. But J.D. Carter started from the left wing, went up the middle of the field, bounced back out to the left side, took it to the pylon, and outran everybody, a 30-yard touchdown run with 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Reed Wazorik's PAT made it 7-0 Stanley County. Mobridge-Pollock and Stanley County both, as we mentioned, starting their next possessions, the ensuing possessions, with first down plays, but 3 and outs from there. So they traded punts, and then the Tigers got a nice punt by Riley Hannum all the way down to the 4-yard line, covered up by J.D. Carter, and the Tigers were in trouble. 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line, trying to get back into this game, but Caden Halsey, who throws a beautiful ball but has a lot of smoke on it, threw a slant pass through the hands of Reese Cerny, and Reese probably would love to have that one back. He probably catches that ball 19 times out of 20, but he missed one that went through his hands. Riley Hannum coming up was ready to make a hit on the receiver, but ends up having the ball come right into his mitts. It was an interception. The Buffaloes took over on the Mobridge-Pollock 16-yard line, certainly in the driver's seat with a 7-0 lead and 7:48 to go. But the shotgun snap on first down goes over Riley Hannum's head. He had to cover it up for a 9-yard loss, and you were just kind of wondering how the Buffaloes were going to not be able to take advantage of the opportunity given them. But J.D. Carter bailed him out again, and it's kind of the same play that he scored the first time around. He started from the right wing and ran it to the pylon once again, all wide open on the left side of that line. 25 yards for the touchdown. Wazorek tacked on another PAT with 6:57 left in the ball game. The Buffaloes suddenly had a 14-0 lead when it looked like nobody wanted to score for 3 full quarters. But then the Tigers get their best drive of the night with a backup quarterback, Caden Eisman, who is a sophomore, comes in and engineers an 11-play scoring drive. It covers 75 yards, but in the fourth quarter, it did take 5:21 off the clock. Any other time in the game, obviously that's a beautiful scoring drive, and not to take anything away from them, but they get a 20-yard touchdown pass from Eisman to Reese Cerny from 20 yards out, and those two hooked up for a 2-point conversion pass attempt as well. And with 1:30 left in the game, it was 14-8. Buffaloes still with a lead, and it came down to a squib kick by the Tigers, which the Buffaloes covered up at their own 32-yard line. They needed 1 first down. They got it as Brady Hofteaser was stacked up on 3rd and 3 from behind the line, but he was able to get a second and third effort. He broke out of that initial contact, and he spun his way for a first down, put this game on ice, and the Buffaloes win it 14-8. A very even ball game. The stats will indicate that as well. They were very even at halftime. They're very even at the end of the game, too. Stanley County will amass 209 yards of total offense, 198 on the ground, and 3 players running for 50 yards or better. Dylan Gabriel will total 73 yards on 10 carries tonight. Had some big runs. He did lose 1 fumble tonight, but on his first carry of the night. But Dylan looks very good as this game came to an end, and I think Stanley County could definitely use their star tailback back in the fold the rest of the way. J.D. Carter was 69 yards on 5 carries, had the 2 touchdowns, both of them on the night, the 30 and the 25-yarder. Also Brady Hofteaser, who got the hard yards when they were needed, 13 carries, 58 yards, and the one to seal the deal. Riley Hannum, 6 carries, actually only gains 2 yards on 6 carries, but good enough. And Reed Wazorek had a tough night tonight, 6 carries for a loss of 1. 198 for the Buffs on the ground. Hannum through the air, just 2 of 6 for 26 yards. Hooked up with J.D. Carter both times for 25 and 1 yards, but he was also sacked 3 times for losses of 15 yards. So 11 yards of total passing offense, 209 total for the Buffs in this game. 5 penalties marked against them for 35 yards off. They pick up 11 first downs. They did have the one turnover early in the first quarter that did not affect them, although it did keep them kind of maybe out of the end zone as it happened at the 10-yard line. Meanwhile, for Mobridge-Pollock, again to the Buffaloes 209, Mobridge-Pollock will total 197 of total offense, 109 on the ground, and they have 8 ball carriers, but nobody getting more than 35 yards. Reese Cerny, 35 yards on 5 carries, and then it was Isaac Olson, the fullback, 21 yards on 8 carries. Cade Eisman, the quarterback, the backup quarterback, with 4 carries for 19 yards. Tucson Freeman, just 18 yards on 8 carries. And then also the rest of the way, you get 6 yards from Zane Reinert, 4 yards from Noah Fireeisen, 4 for the quarterback, Caden Halsey, and 2 for Braden Gehring on his only carry of the night. 109 on the ground for the Tigers. 2 quarterbacks, both throwing for 44 yards. Caden Halsey was 4 of 12 for 44 yards. Did throw the crucial pick that might be the play of the game. Caden Eisman 2 for 3 for 44 yards. Had the 20-yard touchdown to Reese Cerny as well. 88 yards of passing offense for the Tigers, 197 total in the game. Mobridge-Pollock commits 5 penalties, marked off for 40 yards against them. They had 6 first downs in the first half. Did not have a lot of first downs in that second half, however, as they'll pick up just 3, according to what I've got here, and only 9 first downs. So the Buffalo defense, I think, came up huge in this one. And again, the crucial interception, which really, I think it was just maybe the pass was thrown too hard by Halsey, if you need to find fault. But it was a well-run timing slant pattern, but went through the hands of Reese Cerny and into the hands of Riley Hannum that set up the game-clinching score for the Buffaloes, who win this one 14-8. Got a player of the game to talk about. Going to have a tough choice to make, so we'll think about it for the Buffaloes on the winning side of things. But in the for the losing effort, obviously, I think Reese Cerny is somebody worth mentioning in honorable mention. In fact, Cerny caught 4 passes for a total of 70 yards and the only touchdown of the night. Tucson Freeman caught a ball for 13. It was Bryson Gehring, 1 for 6. Zane Reinert caught a pass for 7. Braxton Albers, the homecoming king tonight, caught 1 for 5 yards. So we'll get the receiving stats there. But Reese Cerny, and I thought Jace Chasinghawk was a very good middle linebacker, or an active linebacker, making a lot of stops, especially in that first half for Mobridge-Pollock. Couple of names to throw out there when we talk about players of the game. But player of the game for the winning side, again, could be J.D. Carter, but we gave him a T-shirt a week ago. He scores both touchdowns tonight. He became the difference. Could be Dylan Gabriel, who comes in and picks up some good yards and shows that he's ready to go, I think, for the rest of the game. Could be Brady Hofteaser, who had some real hard-earned yards as well. Could be Riley Hannum. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's listen to this from Bauman Lumber, our Player of the Game sponsor, and your Player of the Game is up next on KGFX.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials at affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Time for a Bauman Lumber player of the game, and everybody that we could choose on offense. We're going to have to look to the defense on this one. You think about it, Mobridge-Pollock had to punt or lose the ball on downs on their first 3 possessions. Actually, their first 4 possessions, they either lost it on downs or punted. Their 5th possession turned into the interception. It was their 6th possession of the second half that they finally got their first and only score of the game. But that Buffalo defense came up huge in the second half, and it's actually an offensive guy, I think, that makes the play of the game that set up the play of the game on defense that set up the game-clinching score. Riley Hannum just had that hard-thrown ball came right to him. I think he was somehow you go from trying to lay a hit on a ball carrier to having the ball come right to you, and then you have the wherewithal to still to haul that pass in, not drop it. You get your team set up at the 16-yard line. you go in from there with another great run from your do everything wide receiver. And Riley Hannum with that interception, and I think also managed a good ball game offensively tonight. Good play for Hannum, both sides of the football. He is tonight's player of the game from Bauman Lumber. We'll get him a T-shirt noting his accomplishments and leading his team with a help from a lot of other guys for the Stanley County Buffaloes, who defeat Mobridge-Pollock 14-8 tonight. Player of the game, Riley Hannum, sponsored by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Upcoming action again, Mobridge-Pollock will lick their wounds. They'll get back at it against Groton area next week. Groton was at Chamberlain on our KPLO game tonight, and they had a 14-8 lead at last check. We'll check the scores and what we have for you in just a little bit. But good luck to the Tigers the rest of the way. They came in second seed right now in Region 1. I don't think they're going to drop too far, although Groton with a win tonight probably moves ahead of Mobridge-Pollock. Aberdeen-Roncalli, if they won tonight, might do the same. But the Tigers still have a very favorable schedule upcoming, especially after that game next week with Groton area. So we'll wish them the best of luck as we move forward. They do get Cheyenne Eagle Butte in Eagle Butte in 2 weeks. Mobridge action obviously still on our Dakota Radio Group stations up here in the north central part of the state. Stanley County goes to the Prospector Bowl next Saturday at Deadwood. That's a 1 o'clock Central Time kick. If I remember correctly, we will not have coverage of that ball game. Should be a favorable opponent for the Buffaloes to get maybe their 4th victory in a row after 2 losses to start the season. Our next look at the Buffs will be homecoming night for Stanley County as they entertain the Blackhawks of Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, who is not the same team that the Buffaloes were trounced by last year in Sanborn Central's homecoming night. So the Blackhawks are at Ole Williamson 2 weeks from tonight. Join us then for that one. Our next football coverage will be regional as we get the Lyman Raiders going to Phillip to take on the Scotties. That'll be a 7:30 Central Time kickoff next Friday night, so a half hour later than usual, but we'll have a 7:05 pregame after ABC News. Looking forward to that one, going regional next week on KGFX. Don't forget, Big Dakota Conference Volleyball is at Parkview Gym starting at 10 o'clock. A lot of volleyball being played throughout the day. Tomorrow, go support the Lady Buffs, who are coming off of their 2nd victory of the season last night down at Jones County. And the cross-country team will wait another week plus before they go running at Miller. They ran the Big Dakota at Chamberlain yesterday. Vikings and Packers are on Sunday on KPLO and KMLO, 11 o'clock pregame, 12 o'clock kick. That's what we've got coming up for you sports-wise. Before we let you go, we mentioned Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. They won over Redfield Dolan 14-8 tonight. Mount Vernon Plankinson, the front runner of the SESD, no trouble with Flandreau tonight, 54-7. That game was 8-7 early, so the Titans ran off a whole bunch. Final in Pierre tonight on homecoming night. The Governors defeat Huron 34-7. That's number 2 over number 1 as far as the rankings go. So the Governors will be the number 1 team on Tuesday when the polls come out in Class 11 AA. Congratulations to Pierre for a homecoming victory. Homecoming in Oneida tonight. Sully Buttes in a high-scoring game, leading Warner 46-32. And actually now 52-40, that game continuing in the 4th quarter. Our KMLO game tonight out in Buffalo. Harding County defeated Harriet Selby area 34-22. And it was at the end of the 3rd when Groton was leading Chamberlain 14-8. Timber Lake leading Bison 30-0. That was just before halftime. And Lyman, who we'll see next week, had a 22-19 lead over Hill City. But that was back at half as they'll be moving along now as well. Lyman and Phillip next Friday night. Stanley County at the Prospectors Bowl next Saturday. No coverage. We'll see them again 2 weeks from tonight. A big win for the Buffaloes as they defeat Mobridge-Pollock 14-8 tonight. Remember, on your way to or from the games, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you, avoid a kiss with death and plan a designated driver. And by all means, it's always better left unread than dead. Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety as they sponsor this game within the broadcast. This game also brought to you by the Stanley County Booster Club, First Dakota National Bank, McDonald's in Pierre Renovaris, St. Mary's Hospital. Coverage of the Buffaloes also sponsored in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Bottom Line Welding, Fisher Rounds and Associates, and Bank West. Our game brought to you within the game by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Boyd Gonzemius Agency, by Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperative Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wegner Auto in Pierre. Your one place to go. Your final Wegner Auto scoreboard says Stanley County 14 and Mobridge-Pollock 8. For Jeff Duncan back in studio, I'm Brian Oakland, KGFX Sports. Have a great weekend, everybody.